Good. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, football enthusiasts and honored guests. Welcome to this historic moment that we've all been waiting for, the third annual National High School Football Hall of Fame induction ceremony. My name is Kenny Rhoda. I'm honored to be your host here tonight. We would like to welcome our distinguished guests, public officials, our enshrinees, and their families. But we start with a nice round of applause for the founder of the National High School Football Hall of Fame, former Harlem Clown and Harlem Globetrotter, 28-year professional career and 5-time Naismith Hall of Fame nominee and 2019 American Basketball Hall of Famer. Give it up for Lamont Showboat Robinson. Lamont's great, but he doesn't work alone. He's put together a great team to help put on this special event. So let's give some love to the rest of the team, if you will. Our Chief Operating Officer, Russell Johnson, our Vice President, David Jingo, the Treasurer, R.J. Van Ullman, Executive Board members, Antonio Hall, Len Critchko, and Administrator David Brown. How about a nice round of applause for those gentlemen? But right now, let's bring out, you ready for this? Everybody ready? Let's bring out the class of 2025 for the National High School Football Hall of Fame. How about this class, huh? This is the third class for the National High School Football Hall of Fame, and we're going to hear from all of these gentlemen or family members about being inducted into this year's class. And gentlemen, this is your night. We look forward to hearing what you have to say, and you can take your seats now, and we'll get things rolling here to get started with everything and anything we're going to do here tonight in honor of all of you gentlemen. We've got the photos. All right, gentlemen, you can take your seats now, and we'll get started with the rest of the program here this evening. Just to pass along some information, if you want more information about the National High School Football Hall of Fame, you can check them out at NHSFootballHOF.com. That is the website, and there's also an app you can download in your phone. All right, as they get seated, tonight we gather here to celebrate the best of the best individuals who have left an indelible mark on the high school football landscape. We will be presenting the National High School Football Hall of Fame honors to some extraordinary individuals who have shaped the game and touched the lives of countless athletes. First, we pay tribute to our remarkable honoree this evening. Let's honor a legendary pillar in the community whose name echoes through the halls of Ohio history, Jim Tressel. Jim has not only achieved greatness on the field, but also off of it, as he has been a mentor and role model for generations of young players. Tonight we present Jim with the Paul Brown Visionary Award. Jim couldn't be here this evening with us in person, but he did send this video. Next, we honor Tavian St. Clair, the Marcus Dupree National High School Football Player of the Year, presented by our inaugural class member, Marcus Dupree.
Hey, Lamont, we got breaking news. Where you at? I might have flipped him over to Oklahoma. No, I'm just playing. It's an honor to stand up here before you today and tonight and honor my man, Tavian St. Clair, for the Marcus Dupree 2025 Player of the Year Award.
Just want to say thank you to everyone that made this possible. It's a great honor to be recognized by so many great people, and really an honor to be standing next to the ones up here on this stage. So thank you for everyone that made this possible. Thank you.
Also at this time, we would like to welcome and honor all of our past inductees to the National High School Football Hall of Fame who are here in the audience. So please stand up to be recognized, members of classes 1 and 2 for the National High School Football Hall of Fame. Some of them have their red jackets on. You'll see them. Great to see you all again, gentlemen. Tonight's celebration wouldn't be possible without the support of our incredible event partners, so a heartfelt thank you to our presenting sponsors, Independence Excavating, Freedom to Go Transportation Services, Visit Canton, the Cleveland Browns, and the Hall of Fame Luncheon Club. And also thank you to our co-sponsors, Canton City Schools, Downtown Canton Partnership, Fedora Football, Snap Mobile, Q92, WOVU, WOBL, the Ohio Media School, Chick-fil-A, and Sam's Club. Your contribution has been instrumental in making this dream a reality. A nice round of applause, please, for all of our sponsors. Now let me read our mission statement, which underscores the purpose and passion behind the National High School Football Hall of Fame Foundation. Our mission is to inspire, educate, and empower youth aged 8 through 17. We have comprehensive programs that promote physical and mental well-being, explore the rich history of sports, harness the potential of technology, and provide valuable resources for parents navigating the evolving landscape of youth sports. We're not just here to honor the past, we aim to create a better future. Our focus is on fostering a love for the game while instilling important life skills and values in young athletes. We believe that these lessons can be learned on the field and will translate into success off the field and in life. I can't take calls right now. You can get that. Here's what I do want to ask from all of you here tonight, if you can. We are accepting donations to help fund the core activities of creating the home of this institution. We are a 501c3 nonprofit organization, and whatever you can help us with counts. We've introduced the $1,000 challenge to begin the process of renovating our newly acquired building in downtown Canton. The fund was kicked off by our Hall of Famer, Stump Mitchell, and we need your support. A gala is scheduled for sometime in August at the Onesta, but you can donate now on our app or at the website and hit the donate button. So tonight, let's celebrate not only the legends of the game, but also the limitless potential of our youth. Thank you all for joining us on this momentous occasion, and let the National High School Football Hall of Fame induction ceremony begin. But before we start with this year's class, I want to bring up our Vice President, Dave Jengo, to say a few words. David?
Good evening, everyone. Again, my name is Dave Jengo. I'm Vice President of the National High School Football Hall of Fame. This year marks the 150th anniversary of the first high school football game. On May 12, 1875, in Connecticut, Norwich Free Academy and Bukele School for Boys squared off on the gridiron for the first time ever. Meanwhile, this area has been producing star players, winning coaches, and contributors, also dating back to the 19th century. Our rich tradition and history makes my hometown, Canton, Ohio, the perfect location for the National High School Football Hall of Fame. In 2023, this organization set a goal to find a permanent home for the Hall of Fame. With the support of Canton Mayor Bill Scheer and the vision of Steve Kuhn, we were able to secure a location. The National High School Football Hall of Fame will be located at 332 2nd Street Northwest, right here in downtown Canton, Ohio. This is where we will honor the past. Visitors will be both educated and immersed in the history of high school football. Interactive displays incorporating VR and the latest technology will highlight our enshrinees, key events, and games that shape the sport, rivalries, historic stadiums, remarkable records, and much more. Additionally, we will curate and store and display memorabilia, as well as digitize and archive high school football game film, photos, and other media. Our purpose is not only to celebrate the past, but also to promote the growth of the game and to ensure that it continues to thrive. High school football can teach young student athletes So many life lessons. How to work as a team, how to trust others, how to weather adversity, how to get up when you get knocked down, how perseverance, dedication, consistency, and selflessness lead to triumph. Our Fostering the Future initiative is an entity dedicated to creating and implementing programs that tackle issues such as player safety, nutrition, mental health, injury recovery, integrating new technologies in education, navigating social media, fiscal comprehension, and NIL opportunities. The initiative intends to address broader social issues affecting our youth and communities such as addiction, food insecurity, crime, and violence. Our strategy to reach the community through the student athlete will benefit the entire school district and region, and it will affect all school districts in all regions around the nation. Knowledge gleaned from these programs will be integrated into the interactive displays, creating an even more impactful experience for our visitors. We are set to launch the Hall of Fame streaming network. Our talented creative team will generate original content featuring high school football, the Hall of Fame, and our Fostering the Future programs, resulting in both an entertaining and informative viewing experience. This content will be distributed through an app over various platforms. We aim to draw 100,000 unique visitors to the Canton area every year. Through field trips, youngsters, student athletes, coaches, and teams will witness what it takes to be great. They in turn can aspire to deciding their own path to success, both in sport and in life. Fans of high school football will learn about the heroes of the game, the history of the sport, and how it is so intricately woven into the fabric of our society. Annual events including the induction ceremony, seminars, camps, tournaments, and film festivals will be promoted and aired through our streaming network, making Canton and the National High School Football Hall of Fame a year-round destination. Our motto is honoring the past, fostering the future. Today, we honor the past with these outstanding gentlemen we have here, and today and every day, we will foster the future. Now, I would like to share with you a video that illustrates where we came from and where we are headed. Thank you.
look at some of the other folks that are coming in. You know, I think about the name Jim Brown in particular, because Jim Brown was the guy who was my hero when I was growing up.
To be able to going with people like Jim Brown, Archie Manning, Peyton Manning, even though I know them all my life, their mom is from Philadelphia, which is ironic. And but just to be in the first class, to never be a first class. So that's most special to me. And being the first class of National High School Hall of Fame and being up here in Canton and being able to say, Mama, I made it. Canton.
The City of Canton is very excited to welcome the National High School Football Hall of Fame to the heart of our downtown. This is going to be a huge economic impact, just not for the city of Canton, but the region as a whole. The amount of tourism and jobs that will be generated, but we also want to encourage our local businesses to support the High School Football Hall of Fame, just not for the economic impact, but for the mental health and nutritional programs that will be created that will help our youth and benefit all of our community as a whole.
With your support, we aim to raise $5 million to restore and enhance our historic home in downtown Canton, Ohio. Located at 332 Northwest Street, this facility will be the cornerstone of the Hall of Fame, a place where history meets the future, where athletes of all levels find inspiration, and where communities come together to celebrate the spirit of high school football. Make your charitable donation today. Together, we can ensure that the next 150 years of high school football are even greater than the last. Thank you for being part of this journey. Let's make history together.
All right, it's time now to officially induct the class of 2025 for the National High School Football Hall of Fame. We'll start with some enshrinees who were unable to attend tonight. Earl Campbell, Troy Smith, Alan Iverson, Richard Dent, and Mike Vrabel. How about a nice round of applause for those gentlemen who had outstanding high school careers and beyond. All right, our first honoree tonight, Jim Thorpe. Jim Thorpe joined the Carlisle football team in 1907 under legendary coach Glenn Pop Warner. Though initially underestimated, he quickly proved himself as a powerhouse. During his time at Carlisle, Thorpe played in 44 games, scored 53 touchdowns, and tallied 421 points. In 1912 alone, he scored 29 touchdowns and led the nation with 224 points, competing at first the high school and then the collegiate level. Thorpe's performances against powerhouse programs, most notably Harvard in 1911 when he scored all 18 of Carlisle's points in a shocking upset win, turned him into a national sensation. That same year, he was named a first-team All-American. In 1912, Thorpe led Carlisle to a 12-1-1 record, including a dominant victory over Army. After his amateur career, Thorpe helped lay the groundwork for professional football. In 1920, he became the first president of what would later become the National Football League. He played for several teams, including the Canton Bulldogs, with whom he won 3 unofficial world championships. Thorpe's athletic talents extended well beyond football. At the 1912 Stockholm Olympics, he won gold medals in both the pentathlon and decathlon. He also played professional baseball for 6 seasons with teams including the New York Giants and the Cincinnati Reds. Thorpe occasionally returned to Canton to cheer on the Canton McKinley Bulldogs. His presence further elevated the status and popularity of high school football in the region. In 1950, the Associated Press named him the greatest athlete of the first half of the 20th century. He was a charter inductee into the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 1963 and the College Football Hall of Fame in 1951. And today, we honor and welcome Jim Thorpe into the National High School Football Hall of Fame as part of the class of 2025. Next up, Bob Sebo, a 1954 graduate of Salem High School in Salem, Ohio, is a celebrated figure in athletics and philanthropy. In high school, Sebo excelled in football, track and field basketball, and the school band, earning 11 varsity letters. As a standout running back, he started every game from his sophomore through senior years under head coach Ben Barrett. Despite an injury, he amassed 420 yards and 194 yards in his senior season. Sebo also excelled in track and field, winning medals in the 100, the 220, and the 180 low hurdles. After high school, Sebo attended Bowling Green State University, earning a Bachelor of Science in Business Administration and later an honorary doctorate in 2013. Sebo's commitment to athletics and education is evident. He has also supported community initiatives in his hometown of Salem, including improvements to the local football stadium, which now bears his name. Join me in welcoming Bob Sebo into the National High School Football Hall of Fame as part of the class of 2025.
I had a lot of words to say, but I'm not going to say them. I appreciate being here. For more than 40 years, I watched my father as a familiar face at all of the Salem High School football games. From the time I was growing up to today, I'm a big believer in high school football. It's the beginning of a whole new life for a whole lot of young men, and it's something that I will always cherish, and I particularly enjoyed having been able to be part of it. I particularly want to thank the folks that joined up with me, particularly those from Salem, Bowling Green, and the Mahoning Valley, who came here to share this moment with me tonight. I particularly appreciate coming. A couple of my favorite head coaches, Doug Phillips, the head coach of Youngstown State University, is here, and also Eddie George of the Bowling Green State University Falcons. Thank you so much for being with me. Most importantly, the most patient and understanding and loving person I know, my wife, Linda. Frankly, she deserves a Hall of Fame introduction of her own. Not just for putting up with me and all my football stories over the years, but also supporting my love of the game, as I still spend my Friday nights watching the Salem Quakers and Saturday, the Bowling Green State University Falcons and the Youngstown State Penguins. Thank you very much.
Our next honoree, Jim Render, a legendary figure in Pennsylvania high school football. He led Upper St. Clair High School for 40 years, building one of the most successful programs in WPIAL history. His coaching career spanned nearly 5 decades, starting with 2 seasons at Carrollton High School in Ohio and 7 years at Uniontown High School in Pennsylvania. In '79, he took over Upper St. Clair and remained until his retirement in 2019. During that time, his teams made 38 WPIAL playoff appearances, 23 conference championships, 5 WPIAL titles, and 2 PIAA state championships. With a record of 406, 141, and 6, he's the winningest coach in WPIAL history and 25th nationally in all-time high school coaching victories. Render's legacy is defined by his impressive record and the impact he's had on young men and the community of Upper St. Clair. Join me in welcoming Jim Render into the National High School Football Hall of Fame as part of the class of 2025.
Thank you very much. First of all, I'd like to say congratulations to all the fellow people that I had the pleasure of being inducted with tonight. There's a lot of great talent on this stage, as you know. And speaking of talent, most of them are here because they were great players. And coaches don't make it to events like this unless we've had great players. And I'm very much aware of that. At Carrollton, Ohio, right south of here, I had a bunch of players, but One in particular got out of Altman Hospital right down the road and came to practice. He had shoulder or arm that was causing quite a lot of pain. But he got out of Altman and came right to practice. He now makes a living imitating Elvis Presley. In fact, he's got a show tonight, or he would have been here. For you Ohio State guys, he was mad because Woody didn't recruit him. He thought he should be Ohio State's fullback. And he went to Baldwin Wallace in both wrestling and football. And the quarterback on that Baldwin Wallace team was Jim Tressel. I had a player at Uniontown, Pennsylvania, by the name of Kevin McLee. Kevin was an African-American youngster who went to the University of Georgia and was the first African-American to be a captain in the Southeastern Conference. I went to Upper St. Clair, and I had a bevy of great players, one of which some of you will know by the name of Sean Lee, who was a captain for us at Upper St. Clair. He was a two-time captain at Penn State and a captain multiple years for the Dallas Cowboys. I point this stuff out because without those guys and a lot of players that were their teammates, old Jim wouldn't be here. I had another player by the name of Doug Whaley, who later, he was the player of the year in 1989 in Pennsylvania. And again, player of the year, he drugged me along as coach of the year. And he later was the general manager of the Buffalo Bills. So I've had a lot of success because of great players. And I'm fully aware of that. I also have a great family, a wife, Pam, two sons, JT and Eric, who sacrificed a lot in their own personal growing up so that I could coach football and be out of the house a lot of hours. And of course, I had some wonderful assistant coaches. And I am fully aware of why I stand here, because I've had a lot of help in my support group. So thank you very much, Canton, and congrats again to all you guys. Thank you.
Our next honoree, Zachary Washington Sr., affectionately known as Zach or Zeke, played his high school football career at Jeanette Senior High School in Pennsylvania from 1945 to 1949. He excelled in basketball, baseball, and track, but football was his love. Zach started playing youth football in the 6th grade and continued playing until his military service interrupted his college career at the University of Wichita State. Zach was known to be lightning fast, accurate, and a brilliant ball handler. While playing running back and quarterback at Jeanette, Zach received numerous football awards, including first team WPIAL All-County Honors. Zach's legacy and impact on Western Pennsylvania high school football have withstood the test of time. When his two sons, George and Zach Jr., played football at his alma mater 35 years later, many of his football records remained intact. Join me in welcoming Zachary Taylor Washington Sr. into the National High School Football Hall of Fame as part of the class of 2025. And to speak on his behalf, here's his son, Zach Washington Jr.
Thank you. On behalf of the committee, the Washington family and the Jeanette community would like to just say thank you for recognizing my father's gifts and talents. My father would have been 95 years old, but as we reflect on his contributions, not only as an athlete, but as a father, when we think of those things around dedication, determination, hard work, and commitment, he instilled that in the individuals that he touched in the community, but also in the family. So with this, we would just like to say thank you very much and look forward to more of the presentations.
Yes. I would be remiss if I didn't say I know my father is extremely proud that he has his four children are here to celebrate him. What a special occasion, it's Father's Day. So as a strong believer, I just want to say thank you, Lamont, the committee, for this honor, for this opportunity, and congratulations to all those inducted.
Our next honoree, Andre Smith Sr., stepped onto the football field at John F. Kennedy High School in Cleveland, Ohio, and quickly began dominating opponents. He was coached and mentored by the legendary Roy Kitt. As a defensive tackle, Smith used his size, strength, and quickness to wreak havoc on the offenses that the Fighting Eagles faced. His talents were on display from 1978 through 1980, and following his senior year, he was selected to play in the 1981 Cleveland East-West All-Star Game. He earned a full scholarship to attend Central State University and was an integral part of the 1983 Division II National Champion Runners-Up team. Join me in welcoming Andre Smith Sr. into the National High School Football Hall of Fame as part of the class of 2025.
Good evening, everyone. I am. I'd like to give praise to my Lord and Savior. Without him, this would not be possible. I'd like to thank all of you for attending this event. Special shout out and appreciation thanks to Lamont Robinson, Russell Johnson, the selection committee. I can't go without saying I love you, and thanks to my parents, my siblings, my childhood buddies, friends, and I'd like to give a special thanks to my alma mater, Cleveland John F. Kennedy, my teammates, classmates, the administration. Without them, I wouldn't be here. Without any of them, I wouldn't be here. What high school football has done for me, you hear people say, without football, I would have probably went in a different direction in life. Football was everything to me. When I was a kid, my buddies and I would play in the sand lot. We played every weekend. We played, for every little seasonal event. We emulated our favorite athletes, and some of these guys, I hate to say it, as old as I am, are up here. And so with that saying is, when I got in high school, we were the first class in Cleveland to deal with the segregation and busing. So a lot of those kids I grew up with, being very familiar with, playing football with, got bused to John Marshall High School while I was 4.
There we go. Just get a little closer to that.
A little closer. Yeah, and so when I think about the busing, how it took a lot of my teammates who I played junior high school ball with away, anybody that knows football knows that high school, college football, to get kids in, to learn your system is very difficult. And so when you lose all the guys you played, in the sandlot with junior high school, and they leave to go elsewhere and you're dealing with other players, it's a game changer, and it's hard to pull all that together, but you do it. You manage it because if you got a good coaching staff, they know how to pull it together. And, it was a, I'm still emotional about it because a lot of guys who went to John Marshall didn't play. So I had a lot of athletes who were really good, who I felt was exceptional. They just didn't play because they didn't want to have those long days. Whereas myself, I was fortunate enough to stay home, play at John F. Kennedy, and like I said, played in the All-Star game, and eventually went to college and got a degree. So what I want to say is, for the kids in the future, I mean, a lot of these guys are my age and a little older. They know when it was their heyday, how tough it was for, like I say, like basic book reports. You know, I had to go to the library and get books and stuff to do my reports. Typewriters and all the different stuff, how we've transitioned in life to computers. So for the kids of this future, you got everything at your advantage, at your fingertips. So if you don't utilize, I guess, AI, you know, you can learn positions, you can learn strategy schemes, you can look up this rich history of football and learn about players. If you don't have these kids take advantage of that, we're kind of at a loss. So what I would say is, hey, again, thank you for hearing me, and everybody have a blessed evening. And again, thank you, and I am honored to be among this class here. Thank you.
Sorry for the technical difficulties. All right, our next honoree, Warren Moon. Despite the rarity of such opportunities for African American athletes, Warren Moon was determined to play quarterback in high school, so he enrolled at Alexander Hamilton High School in Los Angeles, California, using a family friend's address. He fulfilled his dream, becoming the starting quarterback during his junior year and led the team to the city playoffs in his senior season. His outstanding performance earned him all city honors. After high school, Moon faced limited recruitment due to racial biases. Undeterred, he chose West Los Angeles College, where he continued to excel as a quarterback. His standout performance led to a scholarship at the University of Washington, where he led the Huskies to a 1978 Rose Bowl victory and was named MVP. Moon's professional career began in the CFL with the Edmonton Eskimos, winning 5 consecutive Grey Cup championships. He later joined the NFL's Houston Oilers in 1984, starring for 10 years and 17 years total in the NFL, which led him to becoming the first ever undrafted quarterback inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Tonight, we welcome Warren Moon into the National High School Football Hall of Fame as part of the class of 2025. Warren could not be with us tonight, but he did send this video.
Good evening, everyone. I first off would like to thank the National High School Hall of Fame for selecting me for this tremendous honor. There's no question this is one of the highest honors you can make as a high school football player. And I'd be remiss if I didn't congratulate the guys who are being selected with me and also the guys that have been selected prior to me. We're some of the best to ever play the game at the high school level, and we should all feel very proud of that. I also would like to thank some of the people that are involved in making me get to this level. You know, I had tremendous coaching, there's no question about it. I had amazing players to play with that made my job a lot easier along the way. And I also had loving and very supportive family and friends, which made the journey that much sweeter to be able to share it with others. There's no question you don't play a game like football without having a lot of support, and I had a lot of support along the way. You know, my goals and dreams started when I was in high school. This is when I thought maybe I'd have a chance to get to the next level, and that's when I really started to work after playing Pop Warner football for many years. But I never thought in a million years that I would get to this level of high school football. So again, thank you for this tremendous honor. I hope everyone is enjoying themselves. I'm really, truly sorry I couldn't be with you tonight, but I'm sure you're having a great time. And may God bless all of you. And again, congratulations to you all, and thank you for this tremendous honor that you've bestowed upon me.
Our next honoree. Before Ben Harris built Alabama's dominant high school football dynasty, he was a standout quarterback at Alabama State University. He began coaching at Clayton High School in 1982 and later became an assistant coach at Baldwin County High School. In 1988, he took over Mattie T. Blunt High School, a struggling program overshadowed by rival Vigor High. Despite only 3 players attending his first spring practice, Harris led the Leopards to a win, an area title, and a playoff victory. He led them to 5 Class 5A state championships and finished as state runners-up 2 more times. Harris's contributions earned him numerous accolades, including the NFL High School Coach of the Year Award, the Alabama Football Coaches Association Lifetime Achievement Award, and the Lefty Anderson Service Through Coaches Award. His legacy is defined by leadership, excellence, and a relentless drive to uplift young men and communities through football. Join me in welcoming Coach Ben Harris into the National High School Football Hall of Fame as part of the class of 2025.
All right, first of all, I'd like to say it's a blessing to be here, and then it's a great honor to be inducted with these young men. And then I'd like to say that it was truly a blessing to come to Blount High School. I took the job on a Friday. Practice started that Monday. I only had 6 players. I had no idea that we was going to win the school first playoff game, and 3 years later, we was the state champion. And, it's all the credit to the Lord, and then to my coaches, to my players, and then especially to my wife and daughters, to my family. All of them came a long way to be here. Some of my former players here. One of my former players was the first running back ever to gain over 3,000 yards in one season in Alabama. And, then I coached many other great players, but it's an honor to see all of them do well after football. And then it's also an honor to see my church family here, Reverend Moore and his wife, and then some of my church members here. My nieces is here. My brother Sherman is here that finished college from Virginia State University, so he's here. So I just want to thank everybody, and then I also thank this committee. Thank you.
Our next honoree, Luke Fickle. Born in Columbus, Ohio, he began his football journey at St. Francis de Sales High School, where he emerged as a standout athlete in both football and wrestling. Despite starting football only in his junior year, Fickle quickly made an impact, earning first-team All-Ohio honors as a tight end. In his senior year, he transitioned to center, showcasing his versatility and team-first mentality. That season, on defense, he recorded 75 tackles and 10 sacks, earning accolades such as Division III Ohio Lineman of the Year and the Dispatch Lineman of the Year. Fickle's wrestling career was equally impressive. He was a 4-year letter winner and secured 3 consecutive OHSAA heavyweight state championships from 1990 through 1992, never losing a match. His exceptional high school performances led him to Ohio State University, where he became a 4-year starter at nose guard, setting a school record with 50 consecutive starts. Fickle's dedication and leadership qualities, evident from his high school days, laid the foundation for his future roles as head coach at Ohio State, Cincinnati, and currently at Wisconsin. Join me in welcoming Luke Fickle into the National High School Football Hall of Fame as part of the class of 2025. And Luke could not be with us tonight, but he also sent this video.
Good evening, I'm Luke Fickle, and I really apologize that I can't be there tonight. This is a really busy time, obviously, in college football, and doesn't allow for us to get away. But I want to make sure that I reiterate how grateful and how humbled I am to be a part of this Hall of Fame class. To look at the names that are on this list is unbelievable, and I don't take that lightly, and I really do appreciate everybody who had a part in this, who gave me this opportunity, who voted. This is a special, special thing, and like I said, I wish I could be there with you tonight. But unfortunately, with not being able to be there, I do want to reflect a little bit in the midst of saying thank you to so many, and recognize obviously all of our journeys are unique, especially in this game of football. But in how we got to where we were or where we are, everybody's, like I said, is unique and just like mine. And it began in 3rd grade, just like most people, Little League football, but to be honest with you, it really took a turn, I think, in the 6th grade when I had a coach named John Hicks, who was a NFL player, a Lombardi Award winner, I think he was 2nd in the Heisman. Mr. Hicks had an incredible impact on changing a little bit of my mindset of what big-time football really looked like. I had no real idea other than watching some things on TV, but he was a guy that first kind of introduced me to what big-time football looked like, and I'm incredibly grateful for him for that. As I got to high school, obviously that's where this whole thing started to blow up and kind of change a lot of the things that I do. I was a wrestler in my mindset, and my goals and dreams were always in that field. But when introduced to Mr. Hicks in 6th grade as my Little League football coach, and then entering into high school and become a part of the DeSales family, that football was an incredible, almost like way of life. And I got to say thank you to Coach Bob Jacoby, who kind of really instilled that. And I was fortunate enough to walk into a program that had an expectation about everything that you did. And that really is what kind of fueled, I think, a lot of, my passion for the game of football. I always had loves for different things, but that's when the passion for the game of football, I think, really kind of changed for me. And so he had a big part of that. Coach Mark Crabtree, who was a part of that staff, who had a big part of that as well. And Coach Brian White. And I know there's so many others that I'm not mentioning, but those guys in particular, I think they helped me to realize the difference of what football really was. And I mean that in a way that, like I said, I was a wrestler, but what changed in the game of football was the idea that what that team sport looked like and what those relationships, not just with the guys amongst your team, what those relationships with the coaches and the people that were really pushing you to be who you are were really like. And so I appreciate those guys and so many others. I appreciate the DeSales family, the DeSales football family, for all that they really did. The guys that came before me, the guys that played with me, being the greatest team sport known to man, you can't do this by yourself. But fortunate enough for me to walk into a program, like I said, that had such high expectations, that there was a dedication, there was a discipline that you had to have to be a part of it. And that was a part of what fueled the passion for me to continue to play the game of football. And to me, that was the difference maker. And that's what separated my passion from maybe going from one area of wrestling to trying to continue to play this game of football. And I think what really helped me to excel. And so I appreciate all those guys. To my family, obviously I'd be nowhere. I would not have began playing football in 3rd grade if it wasn't for my mother and my father, and the example that they set for me, but also what they pushed me into and introduced me to. Being a father of 6 now and recognizing what a dedication it is on their part, on my part now as a parent, I recognize a lot more of what kind of dedication it took for them, not only to get me started in this sport, but to help me continue to progress, to have the success that I had, or be on the teams that I had, the sacrifices they had to make. I look back at it now, and I can't say thank you enough, and I appreciate them and love them for what they did for me and the example of which they set. And, it changed the trajectory of all the things I've continued to do in my life. And I guess I'd say in closing, I appreciate, again, this honor. I appreciate all the people that have been a part of this entire journey, obviously from grade school up through high school, and even the journey that I continue to be in this game of football. I appreciate all those people that have had an impact, and I only can hope that I can have a similar impact on the guys and the people that I deal with on an everyday basis, being a coach today. And I want to end, obviously, by saying I appreciate the game of football, the greatest team sport known to man, that I wouldn't be where I am and I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing without the amazing things that the game of football not only has taught me, but has given me the opportunity to continue to teach the young men today. So I appreciate this. I'm humbled, and I'm honored to be a part of not just the Hall of Fame, but incredibly honored to be a part of the class of men that are being inducted here tonight. Thank you very much.
All right, our next honoree, Andre Coleman, a former professional football player and current coach, hails from Hermitage, Pennsylvania. He began his football journey at Hickory High School, where he played as a wide receiver and return specialist. Coleman's contributions led Hickory's AAA state championship team and the 1989 Pennsylvania Player of the Year award from EasternPAFootball.com. Coleman continued his excellence at Kansas State, earning All-American and First Team All-Big 8 honors. This success led to his selection in the third round of the '94 NFL Draft by the Chargers. He played 5 seasons with San Diego, Seattle, and in Pittsburgh, and best known for his performance in Super Bowl 29, where he set several records. After retiring from football, Coleman transitioned into coaching, holding positions at Youngstown State, Kansas State, the University of Texas, and as an offensive assistant for the Washington Commanders. Join me in welcoming Andre Coleman into the National High School Football Hall of Fame as part of the class of 2025.
How's everybody doing? It is an honor to be on the stage. You know, I want to thank Lamont and Russell for an amazing weekend so far. Appreciate the hospitality. It's been great. I want to congratulate the guys that I'm sharing the stage with. There's a lot of talented guys on this stage. So to be mentioned in the name, with some of these names is, it's incredible. I was in the back and I asked, I was like, hey, I saw a guy that I recognized his face, but I didn't know his name. And I asked him what his name was. He said Marcus Dupree. I was like, whoa. I remember watching him, when I was a aspiring player. I'm sharing the stage with Eric Metcalf. I played with Matt and with the Chargers. He doesn't know this, but the reason I switched to number 2 was because of him. He was the deuce. He was smooth the way he ran that ball. So it's great to be on the stage with these guys. I want to thank my family, my mom, Dolores Coleman, my grandmother, Sally Harris, who are in heaven. But I know they're looking down, and I hope I made you proud. I want to thank Bill Rupnick, who thank you for showing me what a man is supposed to be, for being a father figure to me. I'm forever indebted to you. Thank you so much. I love you, and happy Father's Day. I want to thank my high school coach, Guy Gibbs, for, I guess, seeing something in me and giving me the opportunity to come back to Hickory and, have some success. I have some close friends here, Corey Love. I appreciate your brother those nights where we just have to get on the phone and chop it up. That means a lot to me and for me to continue on this journey that I'm on. And my best memory in football, I've been fortunate enough to have some success and see a lot of things. But my best memory, and it's funny because the guy in the back did the interview asked me this question, my best memory is winning the high school state championship. And part of that journey was we played Charlie Batch. And I think it was the state semifinals, and Steel Valley was just an unbelievable team. And like me and my buddies, we still talk about that to this day. So to share the stage with him, and we kind of talked about that in the back. The fact that he even remembered said a lot to me. But to get this honor, I'm lost for words. I'm literally living the dream. And so thank you to the committee. Thank you to these guys on stage. And thank you guys for showing up. I appreciate it.
Our next honoree, Louis Riddick. He began his football career at Penn Ridge High School in Perkasie, Pennsylvania. Thank you. A versatile athlete, he excelled as a running back and defensive back, earning All-American honors from both Parade and USA Today during his senior year. His standout performances included scoring 2 TDs in the 1986 Penn Ridge Quakertown Thanksgiving Day Football Classic, leading his team to a 21-6 victory. Beyond the gridiron, Riddick was also a letterman in track and field, showcasing his athleticism across multiple disciplines. His high school achievements paved the way for a college career at the University of Pittsburgh, where he continued to shine as a 4-year letterman and team captain. Riddick's early dedication and talent laid the foundation for his subsequent roles as an NFL player, front office executive, and respected ESPN analyst. Join me in welcoming Louis Riddick into the National High School Football Hall of Fame as part of the class of 2025.
Good evening. Lamont, thank you, brother. Thank you for all the help. Starting this journey back in January, all the support you've given me, my family, getting everybody situated here tonight. You and your committee coming up with this just ridiculously fantastic group of honorees here in 2025. Look, there's guys here who I admire so much, who I'm fans of. Not just as players. Some of them are former teammates. People just mentioned Eric Metcalf. This is a guy who I played against in college. We were teammates together at the Browns. Lorenzo White, Percy Snow, we were all there together at certain points in time. It's amazing when you get back around these guys. 30, 40 years could pass, and you just start talking like you were just in the locker room yesterday. That's what everybody here remembers. Now you're a part of this team, the 2025 National High School Football Hall of Fame class. What better team is there than that? Let me back up and just say thank you to my family who are here tonight, my wife Debbie, my son Darren, my daughter Lindsay, my sisters Donna and Brenda, my nephew Ian, my hero, my cousin Will Lewis, his wife Kimberly, my agent Jim Mornstein, now who represents me in media. Thank you all for taking the time and being here tonight. I want to say something special to my cousin Will, who was here. And the reason why I insisted on him being here is because I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for him. As a youngster growing up in southeastern Pennsylvania, he was the first in our family to make it to the professional level as an undrafted free agent out of Millersville University in Central Pennsylvania in 1980 with the Seattle Seahawks. Every time he came back home, he always had time for me. He always listened to me. He always spent time with me. He always encouraged me. He always had time. Every time I saw him, I would ask him, do you think I'll be good enough? Do you think I'll be good enough? Do you think I'll be good enough? And he always was so reassuring and positive, and he's had an impact on my life at every single stage, including this one here. And I told him I wanted to thank him for that. I owe you more than I can ever tell you. It's funny the journey that all of us have been on and where it all starts. Going back to our Pop Warner and high school football days, since this is what this is about, the National High School Football Hall of Fame. High school is where you really do set the foundation for who you're going to be, not just as a football player, but as an individual. And it's in high school that you'll find out, why am I playing the game? And for me, it was simply because I loved everything about football. Everything. It's all I cared about. I was a great student. I could have went to school on a academic scholarship, but I loved everything about football, and it's all I cared about. It's all I wanted to be, was a football player, like my cousin, like my brother who played 10 years for the Buffalo Bills, like my other cousin Will's brother Tim Lewis, who was the 11th overall pick of the first round in 1983 by the Green Bay Packers. I just wanted to be like them. I wanted to be a football player. And in high school, it was just all about those Friday nights, the wet grass, the bands, the smell of the concession stands, running out and breaking through the paper that the cheerleaders were holding, hearing the band, looking for your mom and dad, looking for your girlfriend, looking at all the kids circling the stands and just not even paying attention to the game, but they were there at the game. I remember it because I used to go to those games when I was a kid, and I used to run around too. But the thing about it was, when all the other kids were playing tackle football behind the bleachers, I was the one standing there watching my cousin Will, watching my brother Rob, watching my cousin Tim, and just dreaming about when it was going to be my time to be out there on that field. And what eventually would it lead to? What could it lead to? Could it eventually lead to being included in something like this? There are guys here who have gone on to become tremendous, ridiculous level pros. I'll tell you something funny. I'm sitting backstage and I'm talking to the great Craig James, part of the Pony Express. Craig James, Eric Dickerson. You know, when I was in high school, I wrote a letter to the Los Angeles Rams asking for an autographed picture of Eric Dickerson. And I tacked it onto my wall. I even bought those ridiculous rec specs from the sporting goods store to try and emulate Eric Dickerson, and almost broke my damn nose because they didn't fit right. But I wanted to be Eric Dickerson. I've told Craig, I remember watching the Cotton Bowl in 1983, him and Eric and Lance McElhaney going up against my beloved Pitt Panthers. That's what this is all about, that brotherhood, these shared experiences. And to be able to talk about it in this kind of forum, it's just mind-boggling to me. And it's something I'll never forget. I don't care if it's the Pro Football Hall of Fame, College Football Hall of Fame, National High School Hall of Fame, your Hall of Fame at your local high school. This really means something because I think what we all are and what we all value is being part of a teams. And that's probably why we all gravitated towards football. The brotherhood is strong. It's real. I feel it. Being amongst these guys, and I don't even know half of them, but I can still feel it. And it's why working at ESPN now and being able to go out and cover teams and talk to players and talk to coaches, I'm going to retire doing that because I don't want to do anything else. I just want to be a part of a team. And that's what it's all about. Lamont, thank you for starting the process of getting me on this team. Thank you to the rest of my teammates. You guys are freaking studs. Steve Atwater, I'm still sitting there looking at you going, that's a big safety over there. I thought I was a big safety. That's a big safety. I can't wait to hear what Steve Atwater says. Remember, Steve Atwater flipped Christian Okoye on his head. Remember that. It's still like NFL legendary stuff. But just thank you. Give all these guys your attention. They deserve it. I'm fans of all of them. Thank all of you for being here. And thank you for giving me some time to talk to you tonight. Thanks.
Our next honoree, Leroy Kelly. He first showcased his exceptional athleticism at Simon Gratz High School in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Kelly excelled in football, basketball, and baseball, playing multiple positions and earning 3 letters in both sports. He was recognized as the district's all-quarterback and shortstop. Kelly led the football team as a captain and was voted the most outstanding athlete in his graduating class. His coach secured him a partial scholarship to Morgan State College in Baltimore, Maryland. At Morgan State, Kelly transitioned from quarterback to running back and continued to have success. His collegiate success then led to a professional career with the Cleveland Browns, where he became a 6-time Pro Bowler and was inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 1994. Today, we welcome Leroy Kelly into the National High School Football Hall of Fame as part of the class of 2025. And here speaking on his behalf is his daughter, Felicia, and his son, David.
Grateful day and good evening. I'm Felicia Kelly and David Kelly, my brother, and Leroy Kelly is our dad. And it is truly an honor to stand here tonight on behalf of my dad to accept his high school Hall of Fame red jacket and trophy. Thank you guys for being here. This is truly an honor. Let me begin by thanking my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, for all his coverings over my life. I would also like to thank my dad for allowing me to speak on his behalf tonight. A huge thank you goes out to Mr. Lamont Robinson. Thank you so much to the committee who voted my dad in. Thank you so much for this wonderful opportunity. Congratulations to all the inductees here tonight. Mr. Riddick, you're a hard act to follow. Where are you? Yeah, hard act to follow, but I'll try. Congratulations again. You all are now enshrined into the history of this great game we call football. So congratulations. Support is everything in life, and my dad always says the route to greatness is support. My mom's here, my family's here, my friends are here, and I want to thank you for your support. There's one other person that I think is deserving of a thank you from all of us. As a former television broadcaster for WEWS News Channel 5 for 22 years, now an educator, I pay attention to the data. And the data and statistics show that not everyone that plays a sport will make it to the pinnacle of success, Hall of Fame level, like our dad, Leroy Kelly. But now we have the National High School Football Hall of Fame. And it's so wonderful to know that students that play the game of football now can be recognized on a national level for playing high school football on Friday nights under the lights. So I think we all should give a round of applause to the man that made this possible, Mr. Lamont Robinson. Now, I promise I won't keep you long. Well, that would be a different story if David was on the mic, because David was a former radio, operative word is talk radio, host for WTAM for many, many years, and he's a talker. So you all might have been here until tomorrow if he was on the mic. So, and another with my cousin, RG, who is here from Philadelphia, where my dad is from. She's a clinical psychologist, and what do psychologists do? They talk and talk and talk, but my dad and I, not so much, so I will try not to keep you long. Tonight we celebrate not just athletes and coaches, but legacies, stories written in sweat, sacrifice under the lights on Friday night, and there's no legend more worthy of this honor than my dad, Leroy Kelly. Now, most of you know Leroy Kelly for what he achieved beyond the high school field. But before he wore the gold jacket right here in Canton, Ohio, where he earned a permanent place in the Pro Football Hall of Fame, before my dad wore number 44, and what team did he play for? What team? The Cleveland Browns, yes, where he rushed for over 7,000 yards, earning 6 Pro Bowl selections, leading the league in rushing touchdowns for 3 straight seasons, before he dominated the field at Morgan State University, where he proved to be the most electrifying player in college football. Let's look back to where it all started, before the headlines, before the history books. Let's go back to the young man that first strapped his helmet on and showed the world what heart, hustle, and pure talent looks like. Before he was Mr. Hall of Fame Gold Jacket, he took his talents to a high school in Philadelphia. It is called Simon Grant's, and they were the Eagles. And he said that he was a young man with a football in his hand, and he just loved the sport of football. He also did tell me that he used to cut school on rainy days to go fishing because he loved to fish. But then once he started playing football, he knew the importance of being in school and being on that practice field, so then all that stopped. My dad also told me that high school football is where he learned the meaning of discipline, teamwork, and dedication. My dad says he wore his high school jersey, number 31, with pride, and he played every down like it mattered, because to him it did. It wasn't just chasing victories. He was setting standards. He wasn't just scoring touchdowns, but he was earning the respect of everyone who had the privilege of watching him play. He also told me that high school football is about more than X's and O's. It's where you learn to lead, to fight through adversity, pushing through when you're tired, getting up when you've been knocked down, and lifting others as you climb. These lessons just don't fade with time. They become the foundation of everything that follows. So my dad, our dad, also had a very high regard for and gives credit to the people that helped him along the way. He really appreciated the help that his head coach in high school, Coach D, gave him. He advocated for our dad. He called university after university to make sure that my dad had an opportunity to go to college. My dad does not forget where he comes from and where it all began. In closing, tonight we honor our dad, Leroy Kelly, and all these inductees, not just for the touchdowns scored or the games won, but the way they played the game of high school football with grit, with passion, with integrity. So let's celebrate not just their statistics, but their stories, not just their wins, but their wisdom. Because in high school football, you don't just grow players, you grow people. And to the young athletes in the audience and watching online, like my cousins, MJ and Celine, and my nieces and my nephew, Brooke, Chase, Chase, Lux, and Legacy, let Leroy Kelly's story be your inspiration. And look to all these inductees and know this, that greatness does not start under stadium lights. It starts before sunrise, going through long practices, and choosing discipline when no one is watching. So look at my dad, not just for what he achieved, but how he achieved it, with humility, with consistency, and most importantly, with character. My dad showed the world how far hard work and heart can take you, and so can you young players. You can do it also. Tonight, we do not just induct Leroy Kelly into the National High School Football Hall of Fame. We honor the foundation he helped to build, the lives he touched, and the inspiration that he continues to give. To our dad, honoring him tonight is more than well-deserved. It's destiny, catching up to a man who has always given everything he had to the game of football. Congratulations, Dad. You've made us all very proud. And tomorrow is Father's Day, so happy Father's Day to all the fathers. And a girl needs a hero, and I am so happy that Leroy Kelly is mine. So thank you for your time. You've been a great audience. Thank you for coming out, and I appreciate you giving me this time. You're not gonna say anything?
Our next honoree is Mickey Sullivan, a revered figure in Virginia high school football. He's best known for his transformative leadership at Fork Union Military Academy, FUMA. He served as a head prep football coach and AD for a distinguished 4-decade career. Sullivan graduated from FUMA in 1967 and attended East Tennessee State University on a football scholarship, but he returned to FUMA in 1975, initially serving in various coaching roles. After a brief hiatus, he resumed as head prep football coach, compiling a record of 200, 118, and 3, winning 8 Virginia Independent Schools Athletic Association state championships, and was named Coach of the Year 9 times. Sullivan also played a pivotal role in founding the Virginia Independent School Football Association, which later integrated into the VISAA. In 2022, former NFL running back and Heisman Trophy winner and Hall of Fame inductee here, Eddie George, a Fuma alumnus, established the H.M. Sullivan Chair of Excellence for Prep Football to honor his enduring impact. Join me in welcoming Mickey Sullivan into the National High School Football Hall of Fame as part of the class for 2025.
Wow. Thank you to the selection committee for this unbelievable honor. For you that don't know anything about Fork Union Military Academy, when you go home, get the state map of Virginia and put your finger in the exact middle of the state, and you'll find a little place called Fork Union, Virginia. It's an all-boys boarding school of about 550 boys. Our stadium held about 500. For me to be here, to be on this dais with these people, guys, I used to read about you when I was coaching in the old USA Today sports section about the different states when you all were playing high school football. So I know about a lot of you. I'm from West Virginia, so I know about you, Tim. There's so many people responsible for me being here today. My wife, who's here, she wrote, guys, I became a head coach in 1971, the day after I finished my last college class. So you know I knew a whole lot about being a high school coach. My wife rode a bus in 1971 on a little yellow bus to the first game. She rode to on a charter bus in 2012 to the last one. I have 3 daughters who gave up, like you said, Coach, a lot of family time so her dad could go play in the dirt. Coaches, I was lucky. At Fork Union, I had 3 gentlemen, Mike Donahue, Jim Haslett, and Mike Hooper, who coached with me for over 20 years. A lot of great assistants. Other coaches at Fork Union, John Schumann, who was my person to go to whenever I couldn't figure out how to block a front. Fred Hardy, who was the track coach, who helped us start our little Southeastern Conference football track team. Guys, I was blessed to be able to do what I wanted to do, where I wanted to do it, and be successful at what I did. The good Lord blessed me with more blessings than could ever be talked about tonight. I was able to be the head coach of the high school I graduated from, work for my high school coaches when I first started, which was an unbelievable education. But once again, gentlemen, it is very much an honor to be included with you all in this group. And in closing, I want to thank everyone who's responsible for me being here today. One of the things I'm going to do, and I'm going to say, in coaching on the high school level, I have always believed it was not about the wins and losses in the newspaper and on the field that indicated our success. There are a lot of great high school coaches that nobody knows about because they haven't won a lot of games. I'm here because I had great players and great coaches and was able to win. I'm going to do something, and guys, behave yourself. There's a bunch of guys that drove from Colorado, from Tennessee, from all over the country to come here today. A few of them I have not seen since they graduated from high school. Would all my former players and coaches please stand up for just a minute? Guys, thank you
for everything you did for me. God bless. Thank you all. Our next honoree, Donnell Thompson, excelled as a standout football player at Lumberton High School in the 1970s. He earned All-Conference, All-State, and Adidas High School All-American honors as a defensive end and fullback. His performance led him to the Shrine Bowl of the Carolinas in 1976. Thompson's success continued at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, where he played on the Tar Heels' formidable defensive line with future Hall of Famer Lawrence Taylor. In the 1981 NFL Draft, Thompson was selected 18th overall by the Baltimore Colts, and he played his entire 11-year professional career with the Colts. After retiring, he remained connected to his hometown, supporting Lumberton High School's football program by providing meals for players after games. Join me in welcoming Donnell Thompson into the National High School Football Hall of Fame as part of the class of 2025.
Thank you so much. It's a privilege for me and our children and grandchildren, which I'm going to ask to stand. They're 15 strong, so I won't go through names. But it's a privilege for us to be here to represent the man we loved and supported and who supported us over the years, Larry Donnell Thompson. Of course, he never used the name Larry. Everyone knows Donnell, but he was actually very delighted when he was notified about this award in August of 2024. And he transitioned from this life to be with the Lord. On September 17, 2024. It was shocking for our family. We're still recovering, but we're good. Donnell was a leader. He was built for the game of football. At the age of 16, this guy was 6'5", weighed 185 pounds, and wore a size 16 shoe. And if you can imagine, he had 3 other brothers, and they all had similar builds. His mother, you know, you have to give her praise for what all she did to try to get them fed. But he was committed to the game. He had the abilities and the training which served him well as he moved on to the University of North Carolina to play football. He was affectionately called Foots, had a very successful career there, and he served over a decade in the NFL, primarily with the Colts in Baltimore, then to Indianapolis. He loved the game. He was a leader. It's called Canton. One of his players, Harvey Armstrong's in the audience. Thank you, Harvey, for all that you've done to support. And we want to thank the National High School Football Association for acknowledging his accomplishments. It's an honor for us to receive this award on his behalf. And I'm very grateful, I'm very thankful. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Deborah. Before we introduce our next inductee, I'd like to welcome Len Critchko to the podium to say a few words. Len?
Good evening, everyone. It's a great honor to be here tonight, but most importantly, to honor these great guys that are sitting behind me. Tonight, as you've heard a couple of times about the new facility that they've acquired in downtown Canton. And Russell, I don't know if you could put that graphic up again of the new home of the National High School Football Hall of Fame. But it's going to take a lot in the future to open the facility the way the organization really wants to open it. and to honor 150 years of football. We want to open it as a first-class operation. To do that, we need to raise $5 million. And I think you've heard it time and time again about the $5 million. This fall, they're going to kick it off on August 12th. Everyone should have received a flyer in your program. They're asking for 100 donors to step forward with a $1,000 contribution. That's just a very small part of the $5 million. To raise $5 million, it's going to come from a group of people that's going to do all the heavy lifting, from individuals to corporations to foundations to government, everyone working together collectively. I could tell you on a daily, weekly, monthly basis that Lamont and I talk about fundraising all the time. But all of you sitting in this audience understand the greatness of high school football. 150 years, it's the next 150 years. But to honor these gentlemen that are sitting behind us, and for those that have passed on, their tradition has to live. And to have that tradition live with the legacy of football, we would really like a first-class facility. So if you know individuals, companies, foundations, people in government, we're hoping to get some help from the state of Ohio, from the county, from the city, from all the local foundations, national foundations, for not only corporations in the state of Ohio, but throughout the United States. Every one of these people that are on the team of the National High School Football Hall of Fame have connections throughout the United States. We're asking everyone to join the team, help the team. Let's raise the $5 million. Thank you very much.
Our next honoree, Virgil Walker, is a distinguished alumnus of the highly acclaimed East Technical High School in Cleveland, Ohio, where he was a standout football player from 1971 through 1973. Under the leadership of head coach Edward Merchant, a protege of the legendary Ara Parseghian of Notre Dame, Walker developed into a formidable force on the gridiron. Playing offensive tackle and defensive tackle, as well as nose tackle, Walker was known for his power, versatility, and leadership on the field. His senior year was particularly exceptional, earning him several honors that recognized his dominance on defense. He was named the team's most valuable defensive lineman and was selected to the Colin Post All-Scholastic All-Star team. Walker received a scholarship to continue his education and football career at Kentucky State University. Walker's high school legacy remains a proud part of East Tech's storied athletic history, and his achievements continue to inspire future generations of student athletes. Join me in welcoming Virgil Walker into the National High School Football Hall of Fame as part of the class of 2025.
Oh, 06. First thing I would like to say, that I'm so proud to be here. I want to thank this great organization for selecting me, Lamont, and all that made this possible. I would like to say that I am so thankful for my Lord Jesus Christ for dying so that I may live and live abundantly. I would like to say that when we look at this journey that we take, the doors that are open for us, we didn't open. There are people that have come before us that has made all of this possible. So I would like to thank those that we have not seen, but they are there for making this possible. Now, my journey started in the inner city of Cleveland, 36 and Woodland, where a lot of people think
You can't make it from there. But there's no such thing as can't. When you have faith, when you have love. Love can move a mountain, but you must have faith. Now, in my life, there's many people, but in particular, there's a woman by the name of Josephine Walker. Barbara Jean Walker. My father died when I was a year old. But those two ladies became my first football coach. They made me responsible. They didn't mind beating the hell out of me. I know they can go to jail for that now, but they would say, the hell with jail. You're getting beat. Well, what I found out was that it saved me. It saved me from everything that was around me. Had a curfew, had to come in. Had this, had to go to church. But it made me responsible. Made me learn about Jesus Christ. Made me learn about other things other than Jesus Christ that was wrong. So with that, I took this with me in life. When I went to East Technical High School, home of champions. Yes, it was a home of champions, it was a home of basketball champions. But every basketball played football. Every basketball player played football. But I had a coach by the name of Ed Merchant. Ed Merchant played at Miami of Ohio. I had a coach by the name of Ike Smith. He played at Northwestern under Air Parsegian. I had a coach by the name of Greg Knackley, played at Ball and Wallace. I had a coach by the name of Coach Rav Schubert, played at St. Francis. These were the most disciplined men. But the thing about these coaches that they must have saw something in me because they loved me and they made me work. And in making me work, it paid off. Now, on down the line, I have another coach that's the woman of my life, and that's my wife. With my wife, Audrey, she gave me two beautiful children, Virgil and Alexandria. Also, I have a niece that is so beautiful, Angel. She's my other daughter. This is the foundation here. And from this foundation, all I see is love. And they taught me how to give love. Now, I'm gonna make this short. One thing that I have learned from all of these people is to have faith. I'm gonna go as far as faith. Faith, F, the followers of Jesus Christ. The A stands for the positive action that you have to have in moving towards Christ. The I stands for the inner strength that you will develop. The T stands for the togetherness and the truth that you will see in your life while moving towards Christ. And the H stands for the honor that will be bestowed upon you when you find Christ. Remember, when you find Christ, you are representing the strongest power in the world. So don't fail him. I won't. Thank you.
Well earned. Our next honoree, Ray Lewis, one of the most feared and respected linebackers in NFL history. He began forging his legendary football path at Kathleen High School in Lakeland, Florida. At Kathleen, Lewis quickly stood out as a dominant athlete, showcasing a rare blend of speed, strength, and leadership that made him a force on both sides of the ball. He played linebacker and also contributed as a running back, earning a reputation for his hard-hitting tackles and relentless energy. Even as a teenager, Lewis approached the game with an unmatched intensity, and he emerged as the heart of the Kathleen Red Devils defense. Lewis's standout performances at Kathleen earned him a scholarship to the University of Miami, where he continued to dominate as a linebacker. In 1996, he was drafted in the first round by the Baltimore Ravens, launching a career that would include 2 Super Bowl titles, 13 Pro Bowl selections, and a place in the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 2018. Join me in welcoming Ray Lewis into the National High School Football Hall of Fame as part of the class of 2025. Ray could not be here tonight, but he did send this video message.
Good evening, and I am super excited to receive not just this award, but this honor. Thank each and every one of you for your consideration, for your votes, for your whatever it was that decided in the year of 2025, the year that I turned 50, that I would get inducted into the High School Hall of Fame. I remember the day I lost my last high school game and I dropped on my knees and I had no scholarship offers whatsoever. And I was crying so hard that I asked God, do I have to go this route? And I didn't know what this route was, but I knew that every time I showed up to work, the bottom line, the only thing that mattered was my effort, that I would give it every time, over and over and over. I didn't understand what being tired meant, but now I understand what receiving this means. National High School Football Hall of Fame Class 2025. That name it says on it is Ray Lewis. I'm going to leave you with this. To whom much is given, much is required. No matter how hard the journey may be, getting up every day is worth it. Thank you, each and every one of you. If tomorrow wasn't promised, what will you do for today? God bless you.
All right, at this time, I've been told we're going to take a 10-minute intermission. So you are on the clock right now. We'll make it 12. We'll restart at 8 o'clock sharp and continue with our ceremony here this evening. So take the 10-minute intermission to do what you got to do. All right, we've got our 2-minute warning. 2-minute warning till we resume the ceremony. 2-minute warning. All right, 1 minute. 1 minute till we resume activities. 1 minute. If we could get all of our players back up here on the stage, players, coaches, family members, back up on the stage, please. Thank you. All right, if we could all begin to take our seats so we can resume the ceremony. Thank you. Lewis, outstanding. Good here. We're good there. All right, we're going to get started and resume the ceremony. And we will do so with a couple of individuals that are part of this 2025 class. Frank Minifield is part of this class. Unfortunately, Frank unable to be here tonight, but his partner in crime with the Browns Hanford Dixon is going in as well, so Hanford can say a few things about Mighty Minnie as part of this 2025 class. And also, Ken Hall, unfortunately passed away earlier this year and was included in this year's class from 1950 to 53, was part of the Sugarland Express and had an amazing high school career, so we accept this award in his honor here this evening. All right, our next honoree, Jeff Herron, is a legendary figure who had success across multiple programs. Herron secured his first head coaching position at Walton High School in 1989, followed by stops at Cedar Shoals and Wheeler High School. Taking over a struggling program, Herron led Oconee County to a perfect 15-0 season and the Class 3A state championship in '99, the school's first and only state title. Herron's most notable tenure was at Camden County High School, where he transformed the Wildcats into a dominant force. During his first stint, he went 154-18, won 3 Class 5A state championships, and set a state record with 58 straight regular season victories. Over a 32-year head coaching career, he amassed an impressive 334-69 record, including 309 victories in Georgia. He is uniquely distinguished as the only coach in Georgia to secure state championships at 3 different schools. Join me in welcoming Jeff Herron into the National High School Football Hall of Fame as part of the class of 2025.
Thank you all. I'm thrilled to be here, just honored and humbled being on the stage with these guys. I think everybody up here I watched play at some point, with maybe the exception of Jim Thorpe, and I only missed him by a couple of years. So Russell, Lamont, thank you for this honor. Thank you for what you're doing for high school football. I have to admit, though, I've been mad at you ever since I got here. I thought I was being inducted as a player, and found out that wasn't the case, so but after seeing all these guys, I can understand I wasn't quite in their league. The reason that I'm up here, and these other coaches that have been up here speaking, the reason that I'm here is because of what other people have done. Not what I've done, but what other people have done. The good Lord blessed me, put me in a lot of really good situations with a lot of really good football players and a lot of really good assistant coaches. To all of them, all the former players that I've had, Willie, Jerry, especially since you all drove 14 hours to be here, to Stump Mitchell, who I'm sure helped me receive this honor, another Camden County alum. I appreciate all the help that I've had and all the things that every player I've ever coached and every assistant I've ever had, all the efforts they did to make this possible for me to stand up here. Even though I didn't do much to get here, I will take it. And the Bible tells us to be humble, but I think if I drive all night and my wife can keep me awake, I think I can make it back in time to wear this jacket to church tomorrow and show it off a little bit. So last but not least, my wife Inka is sitting there in the audience, and we've got 4 wonderful children and 5 grandchildren, getting ready to be 7 in a little bit. And I could not have done anything in my career without her. She is a true Hall of Famer in our family, and I appreciate it and love you. And thank you for everything you did. Just thanks to all of you for being here, guys. I'm honored. What a great group, and so many people that I idolized and watched. And it's an honor to be up here with you, and thanks for everything you've done.
Our next honoree, Wallace Wally Triplett, a pioneer figure in American football history. He excelled as a multi-sport athlete at Cheltenham High School in Pennsylvania, but really stood out on the football field. His athletic prowess caught college recruiters' attention, leading to a scholarship offer from the University of Miami. However, the university rescinded the offer due to racial barriers. Undeterred, Triplett secured a senatorial scholarship and enrolled at Penn State University in 1945, becoming the first African American to earn a varsity letter in football. In 1948, he made history again by becoming the first African American to play in the Cotton Bowl, scoring the game-tying touchdown. Triplett's professional career began when he was selected by the Lions in the '49 NFL Draft, becoming the first African American draftee to play in a regular season NFL game. In 1950, he set a league record with 294 kickoff return yards, including a 97-yard touchdown, which stood for 44 years. Join me in welcoming Wallace Wally Triplett into the National High School Football Hall of Fame as part of the class of 2025, and speaking on his behalf is Nancy Triplett Edmonds.
Good evening, and I praise God. My dad is a humble man, and I just want to ask his legacy to stand. My family's here from Detroit. We came, Mr. Robinson. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I just want to thank Mr. Robinson for reaching out. Back in January, I received a letter stating that my dad was going to be inducted with these wonderful gentlemen up here that have played and have given their lives to football. And it's an honor to be among you, all of you. History is so important. And it's important to keep the history of football alive for the generations following. I just want to tell a little story about Daddy. He used to always joke about when he was watching all these younger football players doing their little victory dances at the end of the game. He said, "That's not what we did. We didn't do that. We took football seriously. It wasn't anything to play around with." And today, football has changed so much. But we can't forget the history. We can't forget all the ones that made it happen. All the ones up here and the ones that have even come before my dad. So at this point, I just want to thank the committee, and I want to thank all of you who have come out to support this wonderful, wonderful event. Thank you so much, and thank you to my family. I know my dad is, he's saying, well done, well done. And my mom too. This was her dream, that Daddy would one day be recognized for his accomplishments. So thank you, Daddy, we love you. Thank you, Mama. Thank you all. God bless.
All right, our next honoree, Charlie Batch, a Homestead, Pennsylvania native, made his mark on football at Steel Valley High School. His natural leadership and athletic ability earned him recognition as one of the top quarterbacks in the state. As a standout player for the Ironmen, Batch led his team with poise, accuracy, and a deep understanding of the game. His strong arm, quick decision-making, and ability to rally teammates earned him numerous accolades, including all-state honors. He became one of the most heavily recruited quarterbacks in Western Pennsylvania. His success led to a scholarship at Eastern Michigan, where he became one of the most productive quarterbacks in school history. Selected in the second round of the '98 NFL Draft by the Lions, Batch later played several seasons with the Pittsburgh Steelers, winning 2 Super Bowls. But here tonight, we are welcoming Charlie Batch into the National High School Football Hall of Fame as part of the class of 2025.
Thank you. It's exciting to be here. Thank you to the selection committee for honoring me and being a part of this great group that's here today. And it's just always exciting to be here. I want to just thank my family, my wife Tasha, for being here as well, for all the support that they've given me over the years. And growing up in Pittsburgh, it is a steel town, and literally being part of it. And I went to Steel Valley, and the mascot was the Ironman. So to be that and have something that's unique around the country and being able to represent that throughout the years was truly a blessing. But I want to give thanks to my head coach, Jack Guerin, for believing in what we were doing during that time, because at the time we weren't throwing the football around a lot, but he said we're going to throw the football around. And one of the marks that really set me over the top, we just was #1 in the state. We were playing a team called Best Center. They scheduled us for homecoming, and we were losing 27-7 entering into the fourth quarter, 34-13 with 7 minutes and some change left, and we ended up coming back winning that game 35-34. And people were like, who the heck is throwing that ball? And that kind of put me on the map, and to continue to be there and represent Steel Valley in the manner that we were all of these years later, I'm truly honored and I'm humbled. And I'm humbled to be standing in front of these guys and representing them. And when you look on this stage, there are three schools that are represented from the Western Pennsylvania side. That's Upper St. Clair, that's Jeanette, and now it's Steel Valley. And my wife always says, one of her pet peeves, she says, you hold on to things so too long. Sometimes you just need to tie it to a balloon and let it go. Well, Andre Coleman came up here and he stated a team that we played, it was 35 years ago that they knocked us out of the state playoffs. Now I can tie that officially to a balloon and let it go because he is entering into the Hall of Fame here today. So it took 35 years, but I finally let it go. But with all that being said, thank you for the tremendous honor. It's truly a blessing to be up here with each and every one of these guys up here, and we truly appreciate you. Thank you.
Our next honoree, Eric Metcalf. After his freshman year at a Catholic all-boys high school in Seattle, he transferred to Bishop Dennis J. O'Connell High School in Arlington, Virginia to pursue varsity football. Living with his father, former NFL star Terry Metcalf, who helped coach the team, Eric quickly became a standout. In '83, he led the O'Connell Knights to a state championship, rushing for over 1,000 yards and scoring 24 touchdowns. He played offense, defense, and special teams, showcasing his versatility. He even led the team to an upset victory over powerhouse DeMatha High School when he stepped in and played quarterback. In his senior year, Metcalf scored 11 touchdowns despite missing 2 games. Over his final 2 seasons, he amassed nearly 5,000 all-purpose yards, 38 touchdowns, including 12 kick returns for scores. Beyond football, Metcalf excelled in track and field, setting school records in several events. His high school achievements paved the way for a successful college career at the University of Texas and a 13-year NFL tenure. He became a 3-time Pro Bowl selection and played for 9 teams, including the Cleveland Browns, who drafted him in the first round in '89. Join me in welcoming Eric Metcalf into the National High School Football Hall of Fame as part of the class 2025.
When I get a football, I don't like to put it down because I don't know when I'll get it again. No, I really like to thank the committee, Lamont, and all you guys for selecting me to be here with all these wonderful athletes and athletes who have come before us and answering one question that I've had my entire life. Would I look good in a red jacket? I say yes. I feel good about it, and so thank you for that. You know how I am. You know how I am. This is who I am. And so, I really I thank all you guys for coming and supporting these guys. Some guys I played with, some guys I watched on TV, some guys I played against. And it's always been a pleasure because football, for all of us, has been our lives. We've loved it since the time we were kids. Whether we got to get to the highest level as a player or as a coach, it was something that we always wanted to do. And I appreciate that I had that opportunity. The opportunity was given to me by the Lord, blessed me with a lot of talent. And then I had a little gene pool in my dad, who I wanted to be like Terry Metcalf. He played in the NFL as well. So I wanted to be like him my entire life. Everything that I did on the field was because I wanted to be like him or even better than him. And so I want to thank him for being the father, the leader, the guy who guided me and mentored me to be where I am today, and that's right here with all these wonderful people. You know, I got to thank my family, of course, wife, kids, all my teammates that I played with, my high school coaches who have been with me throughout. I'm up here with getting this jacket and receiving this honor with all these guys, but this is about my teammates, coaches, and everybody who supported me to get here. And I'm kind of lost for words, but I just want to say thank you guys for supporting us. Thank you for being here. Love you.
Our next honoree, Craig James, a standout athlete at Stratford High School in Houston. He led the Spartans to a perfect 15-0 season in '78, winning the Class 4A Texas State Championship. Operating in a potent wishbone offense, he shattered Earl Campbell's single-season rushing record by amassing 2,411 yards, despite averaging fewer than 15 carries per game. His performance helped Stratford's offense accumulate over 7,000 rushing yards and score 532 points, ranking second most in Class 4A history at the time. James' 275 points scored in '78 remained one of the highest single-season totals in Texas high school football history. And after high school, he attended Southern Methodist University, where he helped form the Pony Express backfield with Eric Dickerson, who was inducted here last year. He later played professionally for the Washington Federals in the USFL and the New England Patriots in the NFL, earning a Pro Bowl selection in '85 and playing in Super Bowl 20. Join me in welcoming Craig James into the National High School Football Hall of Fame as part of the class of 2025.
Hello, good evening. Lamont, thank you very much, and your staff. Thank you guys for the invitation to be here and to be a part of this. To God be the glory. I thank my Lord and Savior Jesus for the opportunity to be here. I thank my wife and girlfriend when I was 15 years old for being the real inspiration for me in high school, motivating me to run for 200 yards every Friday night because I wanted to keep her attention. We've been married 43 years now, 4 kids and 9 grandkids. So thank you very much, Marilyn. High school football gave me a chance to figure out a plan. I'm going to share a story with you that came to me listening to these guys speak here tonight. I was in 3rd grade, 10 years old, maybe 11 years old. My mom was a single parent at the time. We were in a 1-bedroom apartment with 1 toilet. My brother and I shared the bedroom with my mother. I always got a whipping because what my brother did, it was my fault. So my mom one day, about 5'5", 125-pound tornado, said, all right, come. She went for the belt and she was going to whoop my fanny. I said, I'm not having it. I ran to the toilet, shut the bathroom door, locked myself in there. My mom was beating on the door, said, I'm going to whip your little backside. After about a minute or 2, she changed her tone. She said, look, come on out, son. I'll talk to you. We'll work this out. Mistake. I opened that door and that leather belt whooped my fanny. After I finished crying and looking in the mirror, I said, son, you got to come up with a game plan of life. Pee Wee football showed me that I could outrun folks and they couldn't tackle me. And I said, you know what, I think sports might be an outlet for me, which brings me to high school football. And each one of the guys up here remembers the day that you walked into that locker room as a freshman in high school. It was a new game, a new time. You were a nothing. You'd been something in Pee Wee football, but now you were a nothing. Here's what I learned from our head coach, Oscar Cripps, who's in heaven to this moment. There's no I in team. Don't ever say can't. It's amazing how much can be accomplished when no one cares who gets the credit. Keep churning. The cream will rise to the top. The foundation for my game plan was clear by a sophomore year, my sophomore year. I knew football was going to be a path for me to get out. It was a plan for me. High school football is where each one of us started to figure out that plan and that path. Each one of us had something different that we had to work on. We all worked on that plan. In high school, Harvey Armstrong, my teammate, came to recruit me as a senior. I'm in the Astrodome getting ready to play. He was already a freshman at SMU, and saying, hey man, come on with us, come with us. And I was like, that was hard, that was high school. My love for Harvey, we're brothers in Christ, we're brothers and close to this day. You and Eric last year coming in here, me joining you guys is tremendous. I'll never forget that moment. That happened on a high school football field. Emotions, relationships, coaches, the coaches that have been here tonight, and the impact they've had as mentoring kids is undeniable. Our kids today need mentorship. They need strictness. They need love. They need a plan. They need a path. I'm so humbled and thankful and grateful that I've had a chance to come here. Thank you, Lamont. Thank you very much. Thank you, God. Thank you, Marilyn, for all that has been there. What a tremendous honor to be up here with you guys. Each one of us has a story and a path and a plan. And I'm humbled to be a part of this. Thank you, Lord.
Our next honoree, Cornelius Green, a standout athlete at Dunbar High School in Washington, D.C., excelled in football, basketball, and baseball, earning varsity letters in all three sports. As the quarterback, his dynamic playmaking and leadership led to his recognition as the 1971 D.C. High School Player of the Year. Green's athletic prowess attracted scholarship offers from over 80 schools, and he chose The Ohio State University, valuing its academic and athletic programs. In 1973, he made history as the first African-American starting quarterback at The Ohio State University. During his tenure, he led the Buckeyes to a 31-3-1 record, 4 Big Ten Conference championships, and 4 Rose Bowls, earning MVP honors in the '74 Rose Bowl. In 1975, he was named a first-team All-American and the Big Ten Most Valuable Player. After his collegiate career, Green played briefly for the Cowboys and the Seahawks, and later in the Canadian Football League and semi-professional leagues. Green's contributions to sports were recognized with his induction into the D.C. High School Sports Hall of Fame in 2020. So join me today as we induct Cornelius Green into the National High School Football Hall of Fame as part of the class of 2025.
Wow, you hear all these guys hear their name called. You don't realize how emotional it is till you hear your name called. On behalf of this great committee, thank you to all my new brothers, to all my new family. Thank you. I'm just so honored. This is the third class, but I'm the first from Washington, D.C. to be inducted to the High School Hall of Fame. Wow, I know my mom's up there in heaven saying my son is in Canton, Ohio. And on behalf of my good friends right there, Archie, Bobby, Royce, Wes, thanks for coming. Appreciate you guys. What an honor for me to be great friends with Archie Griffin, my best friend, my teammate, 4 straight Rose Bowls. We accomplished 2 Heisman trophies for him. Together, Archie rushed for 100 yards, 31 straight games, and I gave him that ball 31 straight times. God bless you all, and just thank you for this award. I'm so honored. And God bless you. Hope you have a safe trip home tonight. Thank you so much.
Our next honoree, Jerry Butler, a 1975 graduate of Warshoals High School in South Carolina, was a four-year letterman in football, basketball, track, and baseball. His outstanding performance earned him the prestigious Kamek Ring and an honor bestowed upon the school's top athlete. Butler attended Clemson University on a track scholarship, but transitioned to football, becoming an exceptional wide receiver for the Tigers. He was named a first-team All-American in '78 and earned all ACC honors. In 1979, he was selected 5th overall by the Buffalo Bills. Butler was named the AFC Rookie of the Year and earned a Pro Bowl selection in 1980. Tonight, we welcome Jerry Butler into the National High School Football Hall of Fame as part of the class of 2025.
Thank you so much there, everyone. First, I want to just thank God for the opportunity to be here. I want to thank the selection committee. I want to thank my lovely family that's here, my lovely wife, my partner in crime, my soulmate, and so much so we're celebrating our 39th anniversary with you tonight. So you know how special you are. So when the selection committee gave me the information that I was going to be inducted, you know, I had three emotions that I had to deal with. One, I was shocked. And second, I teared up a little bit. And then third, I laughed. Well, I was shocked because, believe it or not, in South Carolina in 1970s, we were dealing with a lot. We were dealing across America with the Vietnam War. My brother was just shipped off to service, and I knew my time was coming. And I want to give mad love to the servicemen that protect our freedom, to give us the opportunity to even celebrate this event. Secondly, I sat right at the heel of the civil rights movement. Laws forced the black schools and white schools to integrate and learn how to get along on paper. But there still were many biases that existed. Well, we tried to do the best we could, but sometimes the best wasn't good enough. Well, I tell you what, the tears came next. Why did the tears come? Because right at that moment when I'm trying to figure out how to get along with each other, my sister comes home and says, you know what? Mom has stage 3 breast cancer. And they're giving her 2, maybe 3 years to live. And as a young man, I'm saying, are you kidding me? How am I going to deal with all this? It was tough. I remember going to Sunday school that day, and the sermon had to deal with God creating covenants with key individuals in the Bible. And I listen up. A covenant, a trust and a promise that he would make that this would happen. And I said, you know what? I think I'm going to make a covenant with God. And that covenant, I'm saying, you know what? I'm going to study hard and go to college. I'm going to do the best I can at everything I decide to do. I'm going to make enough money to buy that chemotherapy that we needed, and it was expensive. I was so determined. That was what was going to happen. Well, the next time, I laughed. And I laughed because I thought about the time that a person poured into me as Coach Joe Burgess. As I entered the 9th grade, I didn't play football. I didn't even hardly deal with sports. But he noticed something in me. He says, Jerry, I want you to come out for the football team. I said, I can't come out for the football team. My mother's not going to let me play football. He says, well, I'll talk to her. I said, okay, good luck. Well, that Saturday, a knock was at the door. My sister ran to the door. She looked back. She says, Coach Burgess is at the door. I said, what? He knocked again. him in. He came in, he says, where's your mother? I said, well, she's in the room in there. Good. I want to talk to her. I said, okay. He goes in privately and he talks with my mother. He comes out about 10 minutes later. He looks at me. He winks. He says, I'll see you at practice July the 16th. Don't be late. And I said, hey, wait a minute, Coach. What else did she say? He said, whoa. She said, if you get hurt, she's going to kill me. I said, okay, Coach. I showed up on that day. I decided to bring some of my friends with me, my cousins. There's some of the black athletes and the white athletes. We decided to try to get this to work for our high school, our community. And in closing with this, I don't know what happened to Coach Burgess, but the first thing he did was he blew his whistle. He says, gentlemen, I got a drill for you. It's called a bull in the ring. Now, you guys will know what I'm talking about. But as a young man, if you don't, ladies, know what that is, there's about 8 or 9 of your teammates that's in a circle, and you're right in the middle. And they give you that football, and you go around in that circle, and they call a number, and that guy comes at you, and I'm talking about he is coming. He takes your light out. I got wiped out 2 or 3 times, but I got back up. And he's like, get up, Butler, get up, Butler. I'm like, oh, my mother's gonna kill you. So I went home and my mother said, well, how was practice today? I don't know if I like this football, Mom. What happened? Oh, everybody's just so tough and strong, and I'm so weak. She says, use what you have. You're fast and you're quick. You go back over there tomorrow and you show them just how fast and quick you are. Okay. There's the whistle, time for that drill again. This time they came at me, put the hips on them. Next time, put the fake on. They couldn't hit me. Butler, what are you doing? I said, Coach, I remember you told me, if you're going to play defense, make sure you hit somebody. But if you're going to play offense, make sure they miss. So I decided to play offense. And in closing with that, it was that moment that I decided what kind of athlete that I was going to be. In that covenant, I decided what I was going to do. That relationship with God, everything that I said, and this is what I closed and I laughed with when I got this call and they said, we want to take you into the Hall of Fame. That was the last thing I told God in my covenant. I said, make me good enough that one day I'll be in the Hall of Fame. And lo and behold, at the age that I am, I'm in the Hall of Fame. Thank you so much for this opportunity. God bless.
Our next honoree, Hanford Dixon, born in Mobile, Alabama. He began his football journey at Theodore High School, where he showcased exceptional talent and versatility. During his high school years, Dixon was a 3-sport athlete: football, basketball, and track, lettering and all. On the football field, he played multiple positions: defensive back, split end, running back, and kick returner. His outstanding performance earned him the title of conference MVP on defense twice, highlighting his dominance on the field. He went on to play college football at the University of Southern Mississippi, where he earned All-America honors as a defensive back. In the 1981 NFL Draft, Dixon was selected in the first round by the Browns. He enjoyed a stellar professional career, earning multiple All-Pro and Pro Bowl honors, and is credited with coining the term the dog pound for the Browns' passionate fan base. Join me, and do it the right way. Join me in welcoming Hanford Dixon into the National High School Football Hall of Fame as part of the class of 2025.
Dogs in the house? You know what, I was sitting here and I was listening to Jerry. Said he didn't know that he belonged or shouldn't have belonged, but you guys ain't have to cover him. if you'd have covered him, you'll know he belonged because he was a hell of a wide receiver. And my partner, Frank Minifield, called me, and he wanted me to apologize to you guys for him not being here, but he had a previous engagement that he had to go to. Otherwise, he would have been here because he does not take this award lightly. And I just want to say thank you guys. I mean, I really appreciate it. I'm not going to talk long, and I was telling Metcalf to count the seconds because I'm not going to be here long, but I really, really thank you guys. I'm a little bit disappointed and shocked because 3 people that meant the most to me in my life was my father, my mom, and I had one sister. And neither of them can be here today. They passed away, but I know they are in a better place and they're watching me and they're happy right now. But this award means so much to me because this is where it all started for me too. It started in high school. I didn't get a chance to play Pee Wee football or anything like that. I started like you, dog, I think I was in the 9th grade. And I'll tell a quick story and then I'll sit down. My father told me he didn't want me to play football. And he told me, he said, come home every day after school. And me, I wouldn't listen to him. I would stay after school to practice football, knowing that when I got home, I was going to get my butt whipped. And I remember one day we finished practice and a bunch of the guys, we were coming home and they wanted to come home with me, and I was begging them not to come home with me because I didn't want them to see my dad whip my butt. And so my mom finally convinced him. She said, why don't you go over there and watch that kid play and see what he's doing over there after practice. So he finally came over, he came to the practice, and he saw that I was pretty good. So we made an agreement. You don't need to know what the agreement was, but we made an agreement, and he finally let me play football, and that's how I ended up playing high school football. So thank you guys for the award. I really appreciate it. And again, thank you too for my partner in crime, Frank Minifield.
Our next honoree, Percy Snow. A hard-hitting linebacker known for his fierce tackling and speed, he began his football journey right here at Kent McKinley High School in Canton, Ohio. At McKinley, Snow emerged as a standout, anchoring the Bulldogs' defense with intensity and intelligence. As a senior in '83, he recorded over 120 tackles, earning all Ohio honors and recognition as one of the top defensive players in the state. His impact extended beyond stats as he was the leader of the defense, consistently making McKinley a playoff contender in Ohio's Division I ranks. Snow's high school success led him to Michigan State, where he became a decorated linebacker. He was a 2-time All-American, '89 Butkus Award winner, and the first player to win both the Butkus and Lombardi Awards in the same season. Selected 13th overall in the '90 NFL Draft by the Chiefs, his professional career was cut short by injury. But today, we honor him for his dominance as a prep athlete in Canton, Ohio. Join me in welcoming Percy Snow into the National High School Football Hall of Fame as part of the class of 2025.
I like to thank Jesus Christ for sure. That right there was just a moment of silence for my mother, my biggest fan. Award or no award, I mean, the awards is pretty much for her. Once I achieved them, they were hers. They were never mine. And she let it be known. Those are my awards. Even to this day, they're still sitting up in my mom's house, even though she's passed with my dad. But I'd like to thank the committee, of course, for this award. You know, I'm on the stage here with a bunch of guys that I played against, played with, watched play. A bunch of outstanding guys, a group of guys, class, intelligence, everything. far as on the field. Not just that, but it's just men alone. We sometimes, as players, don't get the credit we deserve for being the men that we are and not the bullies on the street and low character guys and this and that. But we are God's children just like everybody else. So this is not just about football. This is just about being a man also, being raised to be a man, being a child, being raised to be the men that we are. With me, football was just a way of me getting frustration out. That's why I was good at it. That was the only way I can get frustration out without getting in trouble. Especially with 3 sisters, it was always my fault. Always. Well, 3 brothers too, but my sisters, it was always my fault. But then, back to this again. I'd like to definitely thank, like I said, the committee. You know, accepting this award is really special for me for the fact that this here is my high school stadium, my high school auditorium. I've earned this here in this facility. And that right there is more of meaning to me than just earning it. It's because it happened here. But it didn't just happen with me. I had a great bunch of guys on the football team with me that made me better. It was not all about me. I'm achieving this here award on the behalf of other players. My coach, Tom McDaniels, of course. You know, stand up, Coach Tom. That right there was my coach. And him and Warren Miller, Coach Neff, Coach Johnson. You know, it's been a long time. It's been a long time. A real long time. And it's kind of hard sometimes to really enjoy it the way I should without my mom. But what other way would she want it to be other than for me to just have fun the way I've always had? But then, like I said, but I'd like to thank everyone for coming. I'd like to thank my wife and my beautiful kids and my families from Michigan and Illinois coming down to, but then again, I thought they were coming to see me, but my sister got a 60th birthday party today. No, she really does, so. But thanks anyway. All right. God bless. Thanks a lot.
Our next honoree, Lorenzo White. Early on, Lorenzo White made his name as a standout football player at Dillard High School in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Known for his explosive speed and vision on the field, White was a dominant force in the backfield. During his junior and senior seasons, he rushed for over 1,000 yards each year, with his senior season culminating in over 1,200 yards and 19 touchdowns. His performance helped lead Dillard to a district championship and earned him recognition as Broward County Offensive Player of the Year. White's high school excellence attracted attention from college programs around the country. He ultimately chose Michigan State University, where he went on to set numerous rushing records and also became a 2-time All-American. White went on to play 7 seasons in the NFL with the Oilers and 1 final year with the Cleveland Browns. Join me in welcoming Lorenzo White into the National High School Football Hall of Fame as part of the class of 2025.
All right, I'd like to thank the committee, and I just got to say this one thing. Personally, I know this is your place now. I mean, you got to stop doing this to me. I mean, me and this guy, we came in Michigan State, and you know, Percy was a little different. That's a little different in practice, right? So I call myself T, and I'm talking about an excellent ball player. So we in practice, so I got this jersey on that I'm not supposed to get hit. So I tell Percy, I say, you know,
I said, Percy, you doing good. I mean, you doing great. But the coach just don't want me to show off on you, you know, and show you a couple of these moves that I got to keep you from hitting me. So he get mad. Oh my God, he gets mad. Why did I do that? Next play, you know I don't supposed to get hit, right? I'm talking about, I'm coming through the hole just prancing. I mean, Percy hit me so hard, all I could hear was, Coach, if you don't get out of my practice. So, but I like to thank my high school coaches. You know, for me, high school is pretty much where it all started for me because I was a big dreamer. And when you dream and you practice hard, and practice hard. I got one person that well, maybe two. Archie. First of all, I want to thank you. You know, when you get somewhere like I came to Michigan State, the first thing that I said, remember what I said, I dream and I have goals. The Heisman Trophy, that's all I talked about in high school. And when I got to Michigan State, who other better than to look up to than the person that won it 2 times? So I gotta say, thank you, brother. When I led the nation in rushing, right, it was all about you. You know, our schools got a little bit different, got a little bit of bad blood, but at the end of the day, like I said, I appreciate you. And I'm gonna just say thank you. I grew up in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. My high school was Dillard High School. I had a old school coach, right? And if these players know about an old school coach, I don't know what we was having. I heard of 2 of these, but we had 3 of these in high school. I'm talking about in South Florida. I'm talking 100-degree temperature. And I think if we had the same rules, I think our coach would have been in jail right now. You know, at that time, when I was coming up, and the coaches know, I knew these coaches probably did it too, to get a water break, that ain't something that you just get, you know. You couldn't just go get water. That's something that you had to deserve. You know, our coach, if we messed up, I'm talking about it's hot. He went over there and kicked the water over, right? And I'm like, Coach, man, we gotta have water, you know. But that's how my high school coach was, and I appreciate him for everything because he got me ready for the next level. And I'm just saying to parents, friends, make sure your kids can dream and look at the stars. When I say look at the stars, and let them shoot for them, because that's what made me successful. And I would like to thank everybody for coming out and, you know, like I said, the committee once again. Thank you.
Our next honoree, Michael Vick. Michael Vick first hit the gridiron for Homer L. Ferguson High School in Virginia. Following the school's closure in '96, he transferred to Warwick High School, where he became the starting QB for the Raiders. Under the guidance of head coach Tommy Riemann, Vick showcased his dual threat capabilities, amassing 4,800 passing yards with 43 touchdowns and adding 1,048 rushing yards and 18 more touchdowns. Wow, that's impressive. His dynamic playmaking ability made him one of the most sought-after recruits in the nation. Vick's high school success led him to Virginia Tech, where he continued to excel, eventually becoming the first overall pick in the 2001 NFL Draft, playing for the Falcons. He would also play for the Eagles, Jets, and Steelers. Join me in welcoming Michael Vick into the National High School Football Hall of Fame as part of the class of 2025. Michael couldn't be here this evening, but he did send this video.
I want to start off by saying thank you to the High School Hall of Fame for inducting me, a kid from Newport News, Virginia, whose goal in high school was just to get a scholarship to any school that would accept me. And my high school coach always told me that, you know, playing high school football was the stepping stone. I watched my cousin Aaron Brooks play at Ferguson High School, and I just wanted to be like him. And the only thing I ever wanted to see was a high school letter come across my coach's desk. And so I put in the hard work. I realized what it took to get to the next level, and playing high school ball was probably the most important thing. Got to say thank you to my high school coach, Tommy Raymond, who made me believe, who put me in positions where when I didn't believe in myself, he believed in me, and so it means a lot to have this honor. And the High School Hall of Fame being located in Canton, Ohio, is right next to the NFL Hall of Fame, and I pray that I end up there one day. But none of that was possible without doing it in high school, taking that step, and a lot of my dreams was accomplished because of my high school career. So thank you so much. I appreciate you guys, and look forward to representing you to the fullest in the future.
Our next honoree, Tyrone Wheatley Sr., a dynamic and versatile athlete, excelled in football, track and field, and basketball at Dearborn Heights Robichaud High School. Over 3 varsity seasons, Wheatley amassed 4,257 rushing yards and 67 scores, including a standout senior year in '90, where he rushed for 2,010 yards and 33 touchdowns on 208 carries. He played multiple positions, including quarterback, running back, defensive back, punter, kicker, and return specialist. In his senior year alone, he scored 252 points over 13 games, leading his team to a 12-1 record and the 1990 MHSAA Class B state championship. In the championship game, by the way, he rushed for $165 and a touchdown, leading the Bulldogs to a 21-7 win. Recognized as one of Michigan's greatest high school athletes, Wheatley was named Michigan's Football Player of the Year in '90 and earned Parade All-American honors. His high school jersey number was retired in 2018. Wheatley's exceptional high school career paved the way for his success at the University of Michigan, where he continued to excel in football and track, and later in the NFL for 10 seasons with the Giants and Raiders. Join me in welcoming Tyrone Wheatley Sr. into the National High School Football Hall of Fame as part of the class of 2025.
Well, I want to say thank you to the committee. I really appreciate this. This is an honor. Fanboy moment. All right, fanboy moment. Lorenzo, you talked about Archie Wright. Those games, man, where you rushed 52 times. Then you take another one, 56. A lot of people don't know carrying that much takes a toll on your body. But man, I tell you what, you inspired me. Even though you was a Sparty, you inspired me. All right? Then another one. You already had somebody tell you that their number was 2. My number was 2 in high school. Told you backstage, I used to drive my coach crazy. But being a dual sport athlete, man, watching you guys gave me the envision to be what I was and to become. And then later on becoming a teammate of yours, man, it was awesome. But I also want to just say, first and foremost, I want to thank my wife. And I was telling my son I want to thank my wife, and he was like, why would you thank Mom? Because, this is for high school. Well, I married my high school sweetheart. And we're married today with 5 kids. I say she has 6, me included, right? But we have 5 kids. And reason why I want to just thank her, it's not so much just because I married her, but she kept me focused in high school. There were days, I didn't want to do homework. There were days I came home body sore, tired. As he talked about the water, right? Our coach never kicked over the water. He just told us water made you weak. So I spent time just hydrating, right? But my wife kept me focused. She kept me on track, kept me in the grades, kept me in the books. So for that, I will forever thank her and thank her for that. Love her to death. My grandmother and my mother, man, the two of the toughest coaches ever. And so I just want to just take this moment to shoot this to the people that are watching and to the parents. For these coaches that are being inducted to the High School Hall of Fame, don't be the second coach, be the parent. I'm gonna say it again. Don't be the coach, be the parent. Allow these men to do their jobs and do what they do because they do it well. You can't go home and you coaching him from the sideline and coaching him at home, and then all of a sudden he has to go back to practice. These men sacrifice their time, and I want to go send a shout out to their families for allowing them to pour into us, to fertilize us, to water us as seeds so we grow into the men that we are today. So to all the high school coaches that are here today, I want to say thank you. I really want to say thank you, and I love you guys for what you do and what you're doing. I grew up in Detroit, an avid Lions fan, but however, it was the city that I loved. And as they say, it takes a village to raise a child. Damn it took a whole village to raise me. And I am so proud of the people that invested in me and put me on the right track. And there were some names so I didn't really watch professional sports because all I ever wanted to do is like most barbershops, you go in there and you got the older gentlemen there talking. And they will always talk about the high school superstars in the area. And all I ever wanted to do was be mentioned in the breath and the likes of how they spoke about those high school guys. The Terry Kirbys of the world, the Joe Ballers, those type of men. And by the grace of God, I was able to follow in their footsteps and be awarded with this award today. So once again, to the National High School Football Association and the selection committee, and to the class of 2025, love you guys. What an honor and a privilege. Thank you very much.
Our next honoree, Tim Couch. Tim Couch made a name for himself on both the gridiron and hardwood at Leslie County High School in Kentucky. He shattered Kentucky and national records throughout his career. In basketball, he scored over 3,000 points, averaging 36 points per game as a junior. In football, he became the first player to pass for 4,151 yards in a season, and he amassed over 12,000 yards and 132 touchdowns, solidifying his status as one of the most celebrated high school QBs ever. His success on Friday nights caught the attention of the media, earning him the USA Today High School Offensive Player of the Year award in '95. He also has been recognized as the 6th best high school athlete ever in the state of Kentucky. Couch committed to the University of Kentucky, where he continued his remarkable play, breaking numerous SEC records and becoming a Heisman Trophy finalist. After his junior season, he declared for the NFL draft and was selected as the #1 overall pick by the Cleveland Browns in 1999. He led the Browns to their first playoff appearance after the team returned to the NFL in 1999. And today, we welcome Tim Couch into the National High School Football Hall of Fame as part of the class of 2025.
Well, as a former Cleveland Brown, it's great to be back in Northeast Ohio. Good to be with you guys tonight. I'm deeply humbled to stand here tonight being inducted into the National High School Football Hall of Fame. I want to say thank you to the committee for this incredible honor, and congratulations to my fellow inductees. It's a privilege to share this moment with you great athletes and great coaches. My journey began in a small town in eastern Kentucky called Hyden, Kentucky. The support of that community shaped me in ways that I'll never forget. High school football in my small town was more than a game. It was the heartbeat of our community and was the foundation of who I am today. And as Kenny mentioned, I was a basketball player as well. I considered myself a basketball player. Kentucky basketball is huge in the state of Kentucky, so always growing up, I wanted to be a basketball player, not a football player. So my first game ever that I started in high school as a freshman, I went out and I threw 5 interceptions in the first half of the game. And after the game, I'm sitting on the bus and I'm almost in tears. You know, I feel terrible. I'm like, I'm just a basketball player. I'm not going to play football anymore. This is it for me. The coach walks on and he says, "What's wrong, son?" I said, "I'm terrible." I was like, I'm a basketball player. He said, "What are you talking about?" I said, "I threw 5 interceptions, man. I'm terrible." He goes, "Are you forgetting the second half? You threw 5 touchdowns in the game-winning pass. You're a football player." So I think I took his advice and we ran from there, and I decided to be, you know, a football player. But, you know, those, from those Friday Night Lights, they laid the groundwork for me to the path going to the University of Kentucky, where I was blessed to play for great innovative coaches who were ahead of their time at Kentucky. Hal Mumme, Mike Leach, just great offensive minds, where we created the air raid offense that is still very prevalent in college football today. So I was very blessed to have great coaches at the high school level and at the collegiate level as well. And from there, I went on to play for the Cleveland Browns, and all of that was a dream come true for me. But it all started on those football fields back in Eastern Kentucky. I want to thank my coaches for teaching me discipline, hard work, resilience, and I want to thank my teammates. Guys, you know, we all play the ultimate team sport. None of us would be standing up here without great coaches and great teammates around us. So I certainly want to thank my teammates. You know, those moments in the huddle, locker rooms, celebrating big wins are still some of my best memories of my entire career, you know, from high school, college to the NFL. High school football gave me a purpose, a sense of community, and built lifelong bonds. Again, I am truly honored to be a part of this Hall of Fame class, to share this recognition with my hometown, my coaches, and my teammates. Thank you all. God bless.
All right, our next honoree, Steve Atwater. Yeah, Steve Atwater's football legacy began at Lutheran North High School in St. Louis, Missouri, where he showcased his talent and leadership. At Lutheran North, Atwater excelled as a quarterback and safety, known for his size, speed, and intelligence. His versatility made him one of the top high school football players in Missouri. His commanding presence in the defensive backfield and strong arm as a quarterback caught the attention of college scouts, leading him to accept a scholarship to the University of Arkansas. At Arkansas, he transitioned to safety and became a 2-time All-Southwest Conference selection. His college success propelled him to the NFL, where he was drafted in the first round, 20th overall by the Broncos in '89. In Denver, Atwater played 10 seasons, earning 8 Pro Bowl selections, winning 2 Super Bowls. Known for his bone-jarring hits, he built a legacy as one of the most intimidating safeties in league history. In 2020, he was inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Today, we welcome Steve Atwater into the National High School Football Hall of Fame as part of the class of 2025.
All right, what's going on? Canton, Ohio. Well, first off, I got to say congratulations to all these other fine gentlemen up here. And I'm sure you guys have been around football for quite a while, and you know that when you get a bunch of athletes, former athletes, current athletes around each other, we're going to have a good time. And it's really been a joy. I know some of you guys, I played against some of you guys. And you know, just getting to interact with these guys it's amazing, and the relationship building never ends. So I'm deeply honored and grateful to be inducted here to the National High School Football Hall of Fame, and standing here takes me back to where it all began in St. Louis, Missouri. I was chasing a dream with a bunch of teammates and a ball. High school football was the start of everything for me. Although I played Little League football, high school is where my passion really grew. It laid the foundation for not just me playing, but also for the man that I've become over the many years. I want to thank my amazing wife, Letha. We've been married for 34 years, it'll be 35 years this year. We have 4 beautiful children. We don't have any grandchildren yet.
what's going on there? So if y'all see my kids out, y'all put a little pressure on them, all right? Them get anxious. Your love and support have been the heart of my journey. You've been with me every step of the way. Ever since I met you my freshman year in college, we've been there and we've shared so much. So thank you. Thank you for being there. A sincere thank you to Lamont Robinson and also Russell Johnson and the entire team with this Hall of Fame. What you're building here is something really special, and I'm definitely proud to be a part of it. Thank you. And to the young athletes out there, keep going. Some of us don't hit our strides in high school. Some of us bloom later. I was talking to some of the gentlemen up here, how I think we all knew people who played in high school who were much better than we were. I know I certainly did. I mean, some of you guys were maybe superstars. So, but for me, there were some guys that just weren't able to get to that next level because maybe they didn't have the support, they didn't have the grades, or whatever the situation was. So just know that you got to keep pushing. The young athletes know you got to keep pushing and know it's a lot of work. It takes a lot of work to get to that next level. But if you're passionate about it, you can do it. Follow your dreams. And I know you have a lot of support there. So with that, I just want to say thank you again. Congratulations again to all the other inductees and my classmates. And I know this is Cleveland country and Pittsburgh Steelers country, but go Broncos. Cheers.
All right, our next honoree, Antoine Winfield Sr. It's safe to say our next inductee played bigger than his size, much bigger. Standing on only 5 feet 9 inches tall, Antoine Winfield Sr. was known as one of the game's fiercest competitors and most devastating hitters. As an Akron Garfield Rams running back, he was a complete player. He could run around or through a defender, flatten them with a block, and throw or catch a touchdown pass. He did it all. On special teams, he blocked punts and field goals as well as returned punts and kickoffs for touchdowns. As a defender, he would demolish would-be runners and shut down would-be receivers. He literally was all over the field in every game he played. He went on to play defensive back at The Ohio State, winning the Jim Thorpe Award as the nation's top defensive back and was selected a consensus first-team All-American. He closed out his career playing 14 seasons in the NFL with the Bills and the Vikings, where he was a 3-time Pro Bowler and All-Pro. Join me in welcoming Antoine Winfield Sr. into the National High School Football Hall of Fame as part of the class of 2025.
Let's go.
Oh, already. All praise to the Most High. And I thank you for all of my blessings. I would love to thank the National High School Hall of Fame for including me in the 2025 class alongside of some of the greatest players to ever play this game. Congratulations on your induction, gentlemen, and happy Father's Day. As I scan to the left, it looks like a Winfield family reunion. With a support system like this, how could I lose? My foundation was as solid as it come. My mother and grandparents did an amazing job. I will always applaud you. I can't thank you enough for the love and support you've given me throughout my life. My kids, little mama, my aunts, uncles, siblings, nieces, nephews, cousins, my day ones, and my lady. It really warms my heart to see you in attendance tonight and making my night special. I love you all, family over everything. You know, football is the ultimate team sport, I know for a fact I would not be standing here tonight if not for my coaches and brothers from Garfield High School. Coach McGee and Coach Flossie, thank you for trusting me to lead our teams. You two are great examples for young men to learn from. I was fortunate and blessed to have you as coaches. My brothers, my teammates, I can't thank you enough. We accomplished a lot together back then, winning 3 straight championships. My backfield mates, Frank and Dez, glad y'all can make it tonight. I've always appreciated our bond. We depended on each other to lead blocks and clear paths, and we always came through for each other. Much respect, fellas. Drinks on me tonight. And in closing, I would love to thank that 17-year-old version of myself, a kid from the south side of Akron, Ohio. The South. Who stayed focused and worked his ass off to accomplish his dream. He attacked each day with a purpose. He celebrated his wins and learned from his losses. Family and friends, this is a win for us all. Congratulations, Winfields. We just stepped into another Hall of Fame. Thank you.
All right. Here's our final inductee tonight. The name should ring a bell, Tom Cousineau. Tom Cousineau emerged as a standout athlete during his high school years at St. Ed's. Cousineau quickly made his mark with his great athleticism as a dominant linebacker and accomplished wrestler, garnering all Ohio honors in football and as a state finalist in wrestling. His exceptional performance on the football field made him one of the most highly recruited high school players in the nation by the time he graduated in '75. And then Cousineau chose to play his college football at The Ohio State University under legendary coach Woody Hayes. He continued to excel, becoming a 2-time All-American and setting multiple school records, including the single-season tackles record with 211 in 1978. His collegiate success made him the first overall pick in the '79 NFL Draft by the Bills. However, Cousineau opted to begin his professional career in the Canadian Football League with the Montreal Alouettes, where he was named the Grey Cup Most Valuable Player in '79. He later returned to the NFL, playing for the Browns and the 49ers. Today, join me in welcoming Tom Cousineau into the National High School Football Hall of Fame as part of the class of 2025.
All right. Well, they definitely didn't save the best for last, but here I am. My daughter's in the back, Kyle. She's texting me. She's the one that's very pregnant. And she texted me saying, "Dad, I may be going into labor. Gotta go." All right, we're gonna get you out of here, honey. I'm grateful. My wife of 35 years, our anniversary is in 2 days. Struggled to get here. She's OBGYN and was on call all night and left late morning and got stuck in Atlanta, but she battled to get here. Honey, I'm so appreciative of you, love you. Lamont, thank you, thank you, thank you. What you're doing here is amazing, and you're gonna get momentum, and we're gonna help you, for sure. I'm humbled to be a part of this great group, and thank your committee for including me. I have my 50-year high school reunion this summer, or early fall, and I can't believe that after 50 years, football is still pouring incredible blessings into my life. It's amazing. And so, in Arch, in Corning, who I played with. It's so great to be with you here tonight. You're the best, for sure. You know, a high school football team is one of the first places that, not the only place, but one of the first places a young man can have the opportunity outside of his home and the influence of his parents to make a decision about how he commits, how he invests in something that is way bigger than him, way more important than himself. And of course, that's his team. And so on his way to becoming not only a better football player, but hopefully a better son, a better brother, a better friend and teammate, later a better husband, and then a better father. And this is where St. Edward's, where I'm from, excels. They excel in that space about what sacrificing for your teammate should look like, right? What it should feel like, and how it will lead not only to counterintuitively to more success for you, but success for the whole team. And Hanford, you know, Coach Sam, he always used to say, he loved it. He said, there's no I in the word team. There are, however, two in the word idiot. And, true, right? So the four pillars at St. Edward are faith, excellence, relationship, and servant leadership. And sometimes that sounds trite, you know, it's up on our building, it makes a great poster, but I can confirm, it is the very heartbeat of St. Ed's. It's what they do. And it's my lived experience, both as a student athlete and then years later as an assistant coach there, which I have treasured. And when I watch today what Coach Tom Lombardo is doing with his incredible staff at St. Ed's, you make us so proud. You're winning a lot of games and championships for sure, but the quality of a young man that you are sending out is amazing. And so I think my point is that I'm not sure that things work out exactly the same for me without the incredible blessing of being able to attend St. Edward and have those opportunities that they provided me with. I want to finish up here. Coach Dan Flaherty, on the staff when I was there, 20 plus years as a coach at St. Edward, 8 of them as head coach. Amazing coach, a better human being. And St. Ed's does not work without people like you. And we had this really amazing young coach on the staff when I went to St. Ed's as a freshman. He was just out of college, and he was incredibly contagious, enthusiastic, and he never stopped smiling, ever. He loved football, he loved kids, he loved teaching. And St. Edward lost a great one with the recent passing of my coach, Dave Holian. He did so much for me. In football, we wrestled. He was on the staff there, and he was a big guy, strong, and we bounced off each other every day. And he was a little bit like Jerry Quarry, kind of a bleeder, and so, his nose, his ears, is everywhere. And so it didn't matter. He loved it. And then he would take me home to his house where his beautiful wife, Mary, would serve us dinner. And we would eat and talk, and they mentored me. And Mary Holian, I love you. Man, you loved me like you did your own son. And it was very powerful for me. Lastly, Mike Kaler, Jay Guy, Johnny Curran, teammates of mine and classmates, old friends are the best. I love you guys and treasure our friendship. Again, thank you so much for this honor. Good night.
All right, before we finish things up here tonight, it's time now to remember our inductees who are no longer with us but are a huge part of this Hall of Fame, and they will never be forgotten. We have a video. All right, that brings us to the end of this year's ceremony. Congratulations once again to all of our Hall of Famers, their families. Thank you, Lamont Showboat Robinson, Russell Johnson, and the entire board for putting this together and allowing me to be a part of it. Thank you to all of our sponsors. We couldn't do it without you. Happy Father's Day to all the dads out there, and thanks to all of you for joining us here tonight. We look forward to seeing you all again next year when we induct our fourth class, the class of 2026. My name is Kenny Rhoda. Good night and safe travels.